CEU all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with all that dang shit. On my left, oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Who says revenge isn't sweet?
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choke people out on threes and fours, Chronos.
Hey, they don't say the lyrics to WAP in elementary schools. I'm just saying they don't teach that shit. It's not no book. They don't. It's not a fucking sing song. It's not a motherfucking national anthem. I'm just saying.
Wet ass pussy. We will not be having Stitch on this one, and a Blue is in the wind on some very personal matters for himself. He will be announcing some things when he returns. So, I think that's what we're leaving it as. Kronos, you usually got some types of statistical data or something great and juicy for us. What you got?
The stats I do have. Let's see here. Listener of the week would be Sonidos. What's going on? We appreciate you listening. And also, first in the chat would be Warrior Fellow. Thank you once again for joining us in the Infinity Vault and chatting with us on this live stream.
He's so goddamn consistent. I love Warrior
That he
Fellow.
is.
Like, you know what I mean? I want to be able to go to cons again and see his face. You know what I mean? Because he always shows up and he's always cool. You know what I mean? Good people.
That he is.
Old Ninja, you usually pouring out something urban and alcoholic. What you got this week?
We're taking it a little bit back. We're gonna pour out some Jeremiah Weed tonight. Yeah, I'm pouring this out for a couple of real ones tonight. We're gonna start with Gordon Hall. He was founder of Rockstar Leeds and designer on GTA Chinatown Wars. Back in '97, he was founder of Mobius Games. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, because there's the little tunda over the O, so I believe it's Mobius. Mobius Entertainment. I'm sorry, where he worked on the Game Boy Advance versions of Max Payne, and then Rockstar bought the studio and then rebranded it Rockstar Leeds. The Leeds branch. He worked at the Leeds branch on Red Dead Redemption as well as Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. And then, of course, Chinatown Wars. He later moved on to Activision Blizzard Mobile. The cause of his death has yet to be released, and he was 51.
That's young. Goddamn.
Next up, we have Cliff Simon. He was a South American athlete and actor. He was a collegiate Olympic swimmer and qualified to compete in the 1984 Summer Olympics. He also joined the South African Air Force, when he came back, he started doing stage acting. Then he performed in Moulin Rouge. He later began landing roles on Nash Bridges, and then his most noticeable role was the role of Ball on Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Continuum. He did more TV roles, and then he did a documentary called Into the Unknown, which came out in 2020. According to his wife, he died due to a kiteboarding accident. He was 58.
I'm not trying to shit on this person. I don't know them very well, but was he in the South African Air Force during apartheid, though? Sounds like he might have been.
Between the 80s, I mean, apartheid ended in the 90s, so yes, he would have been flying around then. I mean, it didn't release any kind of like strikes, but he was on Stargate for a while.
All right. I'm gonna hold my tongue on this one.
Wait,
I don't have much love for apartheid in South African government during that time, of course.
Well, yeah, but I mean, did he participate in that kind of shit, or?
No.
That's why I'm gonna hold my tongue on it. I'm just saying I don't have love for the government doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also it'd be like, somebody questioning me for joining the United States military, and we still live in racist times. So
I would liken the South African government to the German Nazi Party. I really would, in terms of their oppression and everything. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're also a Stargate fan.
Yeah. There you go.
But what he's saying is still. I mean, if he was like some racist motherfucker, though,
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that's. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the character's name is Baal. It's Baal, or it's pronounced Baal, something like that. He was the villain for a while. So.
Okay.
And that was an SG-1 and Stargate Continuum. So there you go. Next up we have legendary actor Yaphet Kotto. He hails from New York City. He was a member of the Actors Studio at the age of 19, but his film debut started in 1963. He released a music single in 1967. He starred as the Bond villain Mr. Big in the film Live and Let Die. And then in 1979, he starred in the iconic film Alien. He would go on to star in TV shows like The A-Team, and then he also starred alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger in the film The Running Man. Kotto was once considered for the role of Jean-Luc Picard for Star Trek The Next Generation.
No disrespect to him, but I think they got that right, though.
What if he was better? Some alternate universe. He was still getting. It never stopped airing. It's like The Simpsons now, one of the longest running shows of all time.
He had a 30-year career of acting, but he retired from movies in 2008 with the film Witness Protection. However, he did extensive work on the show Homicide: Life on the Streets, including writing for the show. In 2014, he reprised his role of Parker for the game Alien Isolation. He died at the age of 81, no known cause of death.
I could have sworn, because I literally just watched with my son Alien, I think last weekend. I could have sworn he was.
God damn, you watched it with you watched it with your son?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking nightmares?
No, he was good.
God
he
damn,
was good.
that shit gave me nightmares when I was a teenager.
or he didn't tell me about him.
Yeah,
you know?
Shit, he's silently screaming in his pillow every night. It came out of his chest, Dad! It came out of his chest!
Waking up in hot sweats.
I don't know why. I just assumed he was like Nigerian or from Jamaica or something. I didn't know he was from New York.
Yeah, he's from New York. It's because his father was an islander, I believe, from Jamaica. No, not Jamaica, but one of the Caribbean Isles. His father's from there, but his mother's
from the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, but his mother's from New York, and he was born in NYC proper. So.
Wow. Yeah.
I remember back in the 90s, there was this huge rumor that Yaphet Kotto was Nas's father, and that like caught a lot of traction for a little bit until someone debunked it.
People forget, like the 90s just had rapid like rumors out of almost nothing. Like we were kids for part of it, and obviously teens for some of it, but 90s rumors, like especially pre-internet or early internet, were wild as fuck.
You know what's crazy? Go ahead on AJ.
I was gonna say those rumors became like legends or folklore almost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the thing about like rumors and miscellaneous bullshit that's not true. It's like rumors have like always existed, and they reached their peak. Well, maybe not the peak, but there's like they were really high in the 90s. But as soon as the internet came out, it was like a sharp drop off, and then all of a sudden, like we had like a solid 15 to 20 years of like no real bullshit out there. And now all of a sudden, like the bullshit's back. But the internet's there. It's like you're literally spreading bullshit when we have on the same platform that has the total sum of human knowledge is on the internet. Well, that's been found. It's on the internet in some way, shape, or form. And people are still getting duped. Like these fucking rubes and these snake oil salesmen just came back hard as fuck, and people still believe that shit. And it is amazing to me that you have all this information, and then people are like, all of a sudden now they have fact checkers. Yeah, well, before they didn't have fact checkers because nobody knew what the fuck was going on. And like but people want to pretend like in the 90s, like we didn't all believe as kids that there were syringes in fucking Pepsi bottles, or that somebody's finger is really found in the Wendy's fucking thing. And there's all kinds of bullshit like that came out, and they're totally debunked now. They're totally debunked. Because they found the videos, and there was actually investigations. This is how bad it was back then. Is that the actual cause of all those rumors never hit the media. But the original fucking rumor and all this bullshit did, and they like seriously damaged their brands. Like did I talk about on the last episode about the Wendy's finger thing?
Yeah,
I think
talked
so.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
a couple episodes ago.
shit's amazing, and yeah, we just
Yeah.
shit's totally back.
Well, and some were absolutely legitimate. Like at first, I thought it was just rumor bullshit that R. Kelly married Aaliyah. Turns out that shit was gospel fucking truth. You know what I mean?
I was crazy. So
He was also a nasty motherfucker. I'm just saying she was underage.
Absolutely.
So Yaphet Kyoto, his father was, I believe it's pronounced Cameroon. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, that's right.
say Cameron, but it's Cameroon.
Now,
But
Cameron's a rapper.
yeah, yeah, but his father was from Cameroon, who immigrated to the U.S. Apparently, he was basically the original Nigerian prince. His father was of Cameroon. His father was of Cameroon royalty. His father was a crown prince of the Royal Bell family of Cameroon.
He was bad at like I said, him as Parker in Alien. That was a pretty standout role. I give him props for that. That still holds up to this day.
Even Running Man with him and Arnold like surviving that crazy ass fucking death trap TV show. I mean, that shit was pretty dope. I thought he was surely gonna die, but they ended up teaming up and getting back into man. That was actually it's a pretty good movie.
I think I missed that one. I feel like I've seen almost every Arnold movie except for that one.
Oh, you never saw The Running Man? That movie still kind of holds up today. I mean, it's a little goofy, slightly goofy effects, but the premise is still really good.
Gotcha. All right. Was that the last one?
Yeah, that was it.
Good shit, man. I mean, we got real life stuff and we got a whole lot of fun stuff. Where do you guys want to go first this week? Goddamn.
So I say we start with what Cronus was opened up with, because it's not on the list, but it's been all over the states and it's been talked about for the last 2 to 3 weeks. This whole more of this cancel culture stuff, but it's mainly targeting how Republicans seem to be saying that, or at least the right is saying how liberals love WAP and they don't want to cancel this, but yet they want to cancel Dr. Seuss and these other like name brand stuff like Aunt Your Mama, Uncle Ben's and stuff. So, well, what's up with this here?
Yeah, it's
it
is total bullshit. These people that are kind of trying to equate the Dr. Seuss thing to the WAP thing and all this shit and all these other things. It's the more prevalent one is the Dr. Seuss to WAP. We break it down for the fucking people out there that never pay attention to anything in their entire fucking life and just read the headlines of something and they don't actually do the goddamn research. First of all, the 6 Dr. Seuss books were never canceled by anybody. What they did was they stopped, the actual maker of the book stopped producing them. They were never pulled from the fucking shelves. The government didn't run in and fucking grab their flamethrowers like Fahrenheit 451 and start burning down shit. None of that happened. All right? The reason why they did this is because there's a thing called Read Across America, where they sit down with children and they read to them books. A lot of them are Dr. Seuss books. And when you go through some of this imagery that was in some of these Dr. Seuss books, I think I went over it last podcast, didn't I?
You touched on it, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Where they literally they're showing Africans as like a super racist caricature of them having like these big white lips and covered with fucking black fur, and they are called Africans, all right? And they have like this weird like top knot thing. It looks a ridiculous racist ass caricature of somebody of African descent. They also had racist imagery for Asians, which also they changed that in the past. It used to be way more yellow looking, and they changed it to something that wasn't yellow looking. I don't remember anybody having an outrage about that back in the day. Nobody said a fucking word when they changed it to have a lighter skin. But they decided, hey, you know what? This image is still pretty fucking racist because it has like a super slanted eyes and I don't think he had buck teeth, but it's like super racist caricature.
He does have buck teeth.
And
they also call him a Chinaman.
Yeah, which is fucking racist.
Yeah,
and
racist.
Before somebody says, oh, well, he's from China, he's a Chinaman. Are you an American man? Shut the fuck up. Anyway, it also has some racist imagery with Russians, which nobody fucking brings up. Like, it was like some super fucking fucked up ways that they made Russians look, with like their big thick lips and this gigantic fucking like bear beard and shit like that, and looking ridiculous. So they decided, hey, maybe we shouldn't propagate these racist images to children on Read Across America Day when we're reading these things to children, you know. So yeah, so they're not producing the books anymore. They're still out. You can go find them right now. Like if you wanted to, if you own them, Nobody ran your house and fucking told you to get rid of them, did they? No, it never happened. Maybe you pretended they did, but it didn't happen. Anyway, they're trying to equate this to the WAP song, Wet Ass Pussy song. It's apparently, Nicki Minaj and... No, was it Nicki Minaj?
No. Cardi B and Megan.
Yeah, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. It's their song about Wet Ass Pussy. I'm like, all right, they did a thing on the Grammys where they were dancing provocatively, and the song is edited. I don't think they say Wet Ass Pussy. They probably say Wet and Gushy, which is what they say on the radio. Yeah. So this shows me the fact that nobody actually watched the performance. So all they saw was an image of two ladies scantily clad, doing some scandalous dancing shit. And they're like, well, how come my kids are exposed to this, but they can't be exposed to this? Okay, I'm like, first of all, think about what you just said. If you really think that they're both being exposed to that, then probably neither, then, right? Two wrongs don't make it right. But second of all, no school teacher is reading the lyrics to WAP and showing the video to WAP to elementary or kindergartners. That never happened, ever. And if it ever did, they'd get fucking fired, rightfully so. And this song is, when they play it on the radio for the masses, it's heavily edited, okay? And it's your job as a parent to control things like that. So if you want to complain, be like, I don't want my kids to see it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, then don't let them see it. Like, what is stopping you from, not buying it? But the problem is, somebody's probably going to say, well, why don't you stop, A Kid from Reading Dr. Seuss book? Okay, I don't know exactly. Name every single book your kid's going to read this year in school. Name every single one. Do you know what they are? You have no fucking idea. Most people don't. No. It's normal. Okay, but having to have my kid come home and be like, why do people that are from Africa look like monkeys in this book? You don't understand the amount of harm that does to a child. Or if an Asian kid comes home, why do they say that I look like this? We don't look like this. And all of a sudden, I've got to try to rationalize with a child that their frontal lobe isn't even fucking developed yet on racism way before they should be trying to understand racism. They don't even know the differences between ethnic groups yet, much less racism. So that's where the main problem is, because you shouldn't have to explain to a kid that young racism. If somebody to be like, oh, you shouldn't shelter your children. Yes, the fuck you should. You should shelter your children. If you don't think you shouldn't shelter your children, then why don't you just fucking let a hobo fucking babysit them? Like, seriously, that's the dumbest shit I ever fucking heard in my life. Don't shelter your children. What is your main purpose as a fucking parent? Is to keep them safe, right? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, y'all go in for a minute, because
I love it. I love it. Let me just bring up a couple other things. I was watching, I think when my son was about 4 or 5, pretty innocent age, Peter Pan, the Disney animated movie. And I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and holy shit did I have to turn that off immediately when they started depicting Native Americans in a completely reprehensible and awful racist caricature manner. I didn't want my kid thinking that was okay. I completely censored it. We turned it off. That was it. And I believe even on Disney Plus, they probably do some type of warning ahead of time. If you're going to watch that or stream that movie, you can fact check me if I'm wrong on that. But there's a whole long history of it. Tom and Jerry, who just had a brand new movie, I think on HBO Max a couple weeks ago. Obviously, this recent movie didn't have it in it, but Tom and Jerry had a mammy character and a blackface and a whole bunch of other awful stuff in it. Same with all kinds of Looney Tunes. It's something that's awful, and it's totally fine to censor your kids from that stuff. And I'm right there with you in terms of the fact that Wet Ass Pussy is one of those songs that has one of those labels that says, hey, this has explicit lyrics in it. A 5-year-old can't go into, if they had record stores any goddamn more, a record store and buy the fucking album, man. It's for adults. I get that, and they played a censored version on the Grammys, which they've played many censored versions on the Grammys, and you don't have to watch the fucking Grammys. You really don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
actually,
that's what I got.
I had the same thing happen with Riley, where like, we were reading or watching something, and we're just like, whoa, like what the fuck, and we just like stopped. But the problem is that it said that it's okay for kids. Like that's the problem. Like if you tell me that something's okay for kids and all of a sudden there's a fucking dick in it, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? You know,
Like that
it's like-
Batman, like that Batman issue.
yeah. Well, that did say it was MA. It was, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's shit like that people don't really seem to understand. That if you tell me it's for kids, I don't expect to see non-children focused content in there. I don't expect to also open up a book and like a children's book and for them to go into like advanced mathematics.
Exactly.
It's like, come on, make things age appropriate. I don't want it to not. Somebody tried to say that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna quickly say, I do find it funny. Like, remember when Samuel L. Jackson had the "Go to Fuck to Sleep" children's book, which was perfect for when you have a brand new infant. But of course, my 6-year-old found that and was like, "Oh, I love reading. I'm gonna pick up any book I find." And we were like, "Oh shit, put that down. You can't read that bullshit." Anyway, go ahead.
Somebody had an argument with me. I forgot to respond back to this dude because I respect the guy. But he was like, well, racism, these racist things existed. These kids need to be shown and told that it exists. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking right. They should. But not between the ages of 4 and 10. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bit young. They're missing the core. They're missing a whole bunch of general fucking ideas before they get to that. Like I said, you don't start a kid out with fucking advanced mathematics before they understand 1 + 1.
Yep.
So they're not going to understand any kind of context. And so all of a sudden you're going to have these little kids. They're going to start calling other black kids monkeys because that's what they saw in a book. And that's a fucking problem. And if you don't see that's a problem, I hate to say it, but you're either entirely apathetic or you're just fucking racist. So, I mean, there's really no two ways about that. Like, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then you either don't give a fuck, you never were interested in having a conversation about this, or you're just a racist, and you know it.
Yeah. Point blank, full stop. Yeah, I'm right there with it. Now, I think we can segue just a little bit because it kind of fits into the same line that I want to get you guys' take on this. Maybe we'll start with Old Ninja. What did you think about the whole Pepe Le Pew, famous Looney Tunes character, the skunk that doesn't take no for an answer, so to speak, with the black cat?
Yeah, I mean, so if you watch old school Pepe Le Pew, I mean, you see that it's always a case of mistaken identity. It's always some female cat that gets like paint on her back so she looks like another skunk or whatnot. But like Pepe is always trying to get in the draws and he's always like super forward. Him not being in Space Jam, I don't really have a problem with that because a lot of their full roster's not in it for the most part. I mean,
Sure.
So it's usually just the heavy hitters. I think in the last one, I don't know if he had a cameo for he shows up for like an actual full scene. It's been a while, but I can kind of see why he could be removed. I mean, you don't need the whole movie focused on him. So, I mean, but to be real, if you put him and his antics in anything today, it would be seen as problematic.
Okay, fair enough. What you got, Kronos?
How about Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand whether, I was having a conversation with K-Mac the other day, and it's about, like, these rapey-ass dudes that don't really understand that fucking no means no. And I was like, I was sitting down thinking about it, I was like, I can't ever remember a single time in my entire life where I came onto a woman and then she said no, and I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, I've never even tried. Once somebody says no to me, it's like, all right, it means no. Like, I don't get fucking mad about it. I don't think that you owe me something. I don't think that you're dressed a certain way. None of that shit. It's just no means no, and I don't think that it's good for kids to sit down there and see this this rapey ass fucking skunk trying to get some ass. Like, yeah, getting ass is cool, but I mean, god damn, tone it down, man. Like, read the room. What the fuck, man?
I'm not trying to defend Pepe. Do not take me out of context. But most of the times in those cartoons, the cat did not say a word. But definitely by body language, definitely by her actions,
Yeah.
The cat did not want to be fucked with. I truly get that. I think the butt of the joke, per se, at the time was that Peppy thought he was smooth and stank like fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was being the butt of the joke because he didn't get on. He wasn't self-aware enough to realize that didn't nobody want to be around his stinky rapey ass. I get that, and I also at the same time I'm kind of of two minds. I get the fact that modern times, it doesn't send a good message. Fine, it's not the hill to die on for me in terms of Pepe Le Pew. I never loved the character. He was never this important character that I put on my wall as a kid or anything like that. I also didn't watch the cartoons and then start raping anybody either.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, see,
I'm fine either way. You know what I mean?
This is the problem. Is like if people are just like, oh well, they're just jokes. Okay, they're just jokes, but just making it like an adult. Honestly, if they had like an adult Pepe Le Pew, even the same fucking name, just made a fucking show about him doing some funny ass shit of like him getting fucking shut down all the time. I'm fine with that because adults know it in context. But the problem is that children don't. I think that's what they don't seem to fucking understand anymore. Is that children don't get shit in context. Ask any goddamn kid 10 years and below to tell you a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand they're fucking terrible. They don't understand context. They don't understand nuance. They don't understand any of that shit. It's fine. Kids grow up. They need to understand all these social cues and things. But if your social cue is 50 no's and a yes means yes, that shit's broken.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. I totally get it. Now on the flip side, I will say, if we're going to have a robust and comprehensive discussion, Miss Piggy's ass was a fucking rapist as well. I'm just gonna say, Miss Piggy was all kind of assertive. You gonna get this pig pussy? Now,
I don't
sometimes.
I don't know about raping because her and Kermit were definitely like a thing, but I would say that she was more abusive than rapey.
Abusive, yes. There were times when they worked together, and she was extremely physically forward. Let's just put it like that. Not on the level of Pepe Le Pew. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying,
I think there
Miss
were
Piggy
episodes.
was wrong too.
I think there was also episodes where Pepe Le Pew would meet his match, and he'd be trying to turn tail and run away from a type of animal or creature. I think he ran into another skunk that was trying to be all rapey or whatnot. So, but I get the joke and the nuance and whatnot. But yes, I mean, a lot of people, especially in the last few years, have always said that that Miss Piggy's been an issue. She's always been forceful. She's always been abusive. She's always been a narcissist. So she's always been an issue. Even though I love Frank Oz, and I always thought that Miss Piggy was always funny, but she was insanely jealous and physically abusive and. Yeah.
And we're talking about Muppets. We're talking about cartoon characters. I get it. So it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, but But we saw it though. When you're young, it's funny, but when you're an adult looking at it, you're like, "Oh, this is kind of problematic. I don't know if I should let my kids watch this."
I mean, here's the other thing too, and not that I had any type of words to describe this at the time, but look, Bugs Bunny liked drag. Like, full stop. Bugs Bunny loved himself some drag and making sure that Elmer thought he was getting some fucking pussy coming to him, and it turned out it was male fucking Bugs doing his thing. I don't have a problem with it, but that could be seen as, again, through today's lens, insensitive to certain communities or blah blah blah. I mean, you could see, if people want to make it a bigger issue than it is, they could say that this was a problematic thing of Bugs dressing up all the time as a woman, but not identifying as a cross-dresser or I could see it.
I mean, the same applies to Daffy as well, because he did that with Elmer as well. He followed Bugs' suit by doing the same thing. So, and I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you look at some of the old comics, they were doing that. Dean Martin. They like some of the Rat Pack. A lot of those dudes, they were doing drag a bunch of times. So, it was different back then. It could be seen as insensitive now. I have no idea because I'm not part of that community. I don't know how they feel about it. It could be hilarious to them. It could be offensive. No idea. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
see,
we have to realize that things in the past do not translate very well or age well. As
yeah,
we
let me
say.
just say something real quick though. Like, so when you say somebody like, when a kid sees like somebody in drag, to me, I'm just like, I really don't give a fuck, because you're probably gonna see somebody in drag in your normal way of life. Okay. The problem is that if you see somebody doing some rapey ass shit and not understanding that no means no, and for them that's normal now, that's a problem. Like,
I get you.
so yeah.
Yeah, I get you. And Bugs was, I'm going to use this phrase, he was in a lot of ways trying to do some true trap stuff, like in terms of, hey, Elmer thinks one thing, like I am a human woman, and I'm a male buddy. He was purposely trying to fool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not right. Yeah,
But,
it's not something I want my kids to see. Not at a young age. So
Yeah.
I feel like this might be your first trap and why you're the way you.
Someone's gonna get so
I
fucking
feel like
mad
you're
he just said that word. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're
Internet don't get
exposing
mad at the
yourself.
trap word.
I mean, but that literally is the definition of a trap, though. So if y'all want to get mad, look up the fucking definition of the word trap. That's literally what it is.
Yeah. Not saying all the times in all situations, but that seems like the shoe fits. I will say this too, going back to Space Jam, I didn't really feel these Lola changes at all.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's no big deal, but it kind of reminded me of, I got on my soapbox, what was it, a year or two ago, about like how with Mortal Kombat they kind of changed and toned down things, and from the standpoint of the dress or whatever. It feels like this is kind of similar in some ways. Lola Bunny was not Jessica Rabbit. Like, yes, she was the quote-unquote hot bunny, but it wasn't so much like she was oozing sexuality to make everybody uncomfortable. She wasn't a crazy vixen per se. She actually played basketball in the Space Jam movie. Now, you can do whatever you want in Space Jam 2, but it does seem a little weird that she needs a complete redesign, like the '90s version was truly awful. I didn't get that impression.
Well, I'm just gonna highlight. I'm gonna highlight one thing that you said only because it was funny, because you said the hot bunny. So like, so you kind of like part of what you said, kind of like, well, I mean, you thought she was hot, so.
Yeah.
She started the entire furry phenomenon.
Yeah,
I will give her that.
I got no problem.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think the furry phenomenon was before her. But I think you're just upset because you want new material to fap to and you're not getting it.
No. Well, hold on. Well, let me just say this.
Hold on. You're the one who said this is not a big deal, but yet you've been flooding your social media with all kinds of Lola Bunny nudes and saying, "Bring me '90s Lola Bunny back." Why are y'all trying to censor sexiness and blah blah blah? But yet you want to be on here and be like, "Well, I see. Well, it's not."
What I was just going to point out, though, obviously the internet is always going to be the internet. So whenever you tone down a character drastically from their previous version in a sequel, and then make a press release saying we are purposely trying to desexualize Lola Bunny, the internet goes the exact opposite way and floods the world with lewds.
Yeah, they fucked up with releasing that statement. They should have just made the change and then just left it at that.
You should have left it. Yeah, for sure.
Just change it.
I mean, she literally looks like Bugs Bunny now, just with yellow and maybe a little bit of boobs.
She looks like Slappy Squirrel. That's
Is that why you mad? That's why you mad.
I'm just saying.
That's why you mad. I mean, at least Slappy knew that all of her stuff was sagging, and she makes point of it. Like, sagging, and she's like, well, I used to not look like this. She literally tries to stuff her bits all back together. But I mean, Lola, back in the day, she literally had a very close facsimile to Jessica Rabbit's body. And now
don't you do that. Don't you lie to these people on this path.
I said similar, not exact.
Don't you do it. Pull up Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Show these people.
Jessica
Rabbit. Show these youngsters.
Yeah,
Jessica Rabbit was.
They got Disney Plus. They can look for it themselves. Fuck that.
No, we got preview wrong now.
Jessica was a sex vixen, sex kitten, whatever. She was a married woman, and she was just bad and banging all out. And the other thing is, that was still a kids' movie and totally fine. Even as an 8-year-old, I was just like, Jessica Rabbit is bad. Yeah, that was a kids' movie, right?
I mean, it's a PG-13 film.
Is it PG-13? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Roger Rabbit
I'm trying to
was
find
a
a good
PG-13 film.
Okay, but that's still a kids' movie. I saw it.
I mean, they literally say, like, Bob Hoskins, may he rest in peace, literally tells at the part in the film where this is about greed, sex, and murder.
Actually,
what do you see that in a fucking kids' TV show?
So hold on, this is the problem. Old Ninja Story has a point. So I'm going back and looking at old Jessica Rabbit images here. I'll pull one up for the podcast here. So I'm looking at this is the Jessica Rabbit image that I'm pulling up. So if you look at Lola Bunny and you look at just stills, you might think that they look kind of similar, but the way they were animated, no, it's like not even fucking close. Like things were fucking gyrating and moving when she was like doing like the smallest movement of her body. Like things were like,
oh yeah, of course.
Jiggling
and hers
shit.
was overtly. Jessica was overtly sexual. I get that, but like I said similar, not exact. So this dude over here, Prodigy, freaking out all because he needs Lola Bunny nudes because he need new material.
Look, I got him now. I got all of them that I can handle.
But you out here trying to champion that? Oh, they're not gonna do this to my Lola. I'm gonna boycott this movie. Y'all should too.
Hold on, I will take that back. Actually, they are not similarly imaged at all.
See, I know my Jessica Rabbit. That was the one. Look, Jessica Rabbit awakened something in every single fourth grader in my class. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
bruh.
Actually, I'm kind of confused on why everybody's mad. Lola Bunny was not exactly like top heavy.
No.
In the cartoon, so I think this is some manufactured outrage.
Yes.
So she's been redesigned before because in the TV show, she was way different, completely different.
Yeah, but I think that the reason what people are doing is comparing Space Jam to Space Jam, like trying to do apples to apples.
I get
that.
I'll pull up the apples to apples, and it's like, honestly, just a little bit less. I guess kind of, but to begin with, like, she wasn't like top heavy to begin with, and she's just wearing like a bigger shirt. So
yeah,
I pulled it up for everybody to see, the differences.
I mean, I get it, and again, this is not the hill to fucking die on. Obviously, the creators of the cartoon are going to do whatever the fuck they want to with it.
Honestly, the main problem for me is the way that her face looks. Because I'm looking at the face.
Girl.
Yeah, it's like, because I mean, obviously, so on the old Space Jam version, she has like eyeshadow on.
Mm-hmm.
And she has more feminine features. Like her face is slimmer, it's smaller. In the new one, her face is much wider, and she has no eyeshadow on, and like she has like it looks almost like a mohawk for her hair. When the other one, she's like way more feminized. So yeah, I can see that where she looks more masculine in the new one. So especially from the face.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, look. All I know is this: I had never seen so much Lola Bunny porn, and I go deep into the furry forums of fucking Twitter, man. Food of Friday and everything. Whoo, shit! They flooded the entire fucking web with them, man. It rained fucking Lola Loos from the goddamn stars. It was great.
Hold on, Kristen Wiig voiced Lola Bunny for 3 years.
Didn't know that. She's talented.
There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 actresses that have voiced Lola Bunny.
Good shit, man. Good fucking shit. All right.
Well, that was crazy.
Staying with some news, and I know we were talking about this a little bit today. Tell me about this Punky Brewster documentary, goddammit.
Ooh, boy. I'm just saying. So I remember, Punky Brewster, who is Soleil Moon Frye, which is like there could not be a hippier fucking name on this planet than Soleil Moon Frye, and especially the way that it's spelled Soleil, because it ends with an L. I'm just saying. All right. Yeah, I think it's called Kid 90s, or I think it's Kid 90s, right? Pretty sure it's Kid 90s.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, so I was me and Kamek watched it, and God damn, we was not prepared to watch. I mean, it starts off like, I mean, it's a good documentary. Basically, Punky Brewster, she recorded like she had like home tapes of like when she was a teenager, like growing up, and she had like a bunch of them. So she decided to like pull them all back together and like give like a documentary of like her life and what happened to like her and like her friends and shit like that. And at first, I remember I was watching, and I was like, "This is just some rich chick. It's like some privileged chick that lived like a life way better than mine and most people." And I'm like, what's the point of this? And then it gets fucking dark. Then it gets fucking pretty fucking dark, man. I started feeling like really bad for the way I was thinking about her, like when I first started watching it, and then like what she had to go through and like other Hollywood stars. I felt really fucking bad about what they went through. If you're gonna watch it, just be prepared to like watch some things that are fucked up, especially when it comes to children in the industry. I had no idea that she was connected to so many child stars, basically fucking all of them. And so they
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Hold on. Let me just make sure I heard you correctly. When she was a child star, so underage, fucking other child stars, or
no,
fucking
sorry,
other
I was
stars?
using it as an actual curse word, not as like she's committing sexual acts. I'm saying that she was basically connected to all of the fucking child stars.
Gotcha.
So like all the child stars that we saw as kids, like she knew and hung out with, like
Gotcha.
a
Okay.
whole bunch of them, and it was just like watching them like grow up and like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know, like, what are they up to now? Oh, they're up to now. Why don't I see that guy anymore? Like, what happened to him? And then like once you figure out, oh fuck, god damn it, like, and there's just like some crazy shit. This is something I knew about before I watched the show, but she had a breast reduction surgery like really early on in life. She was like 13 years old. And I remember at the time I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but you know, I heard they were like big. And yeah, she was 13 years old and she was like walking around with like some double D plus boobs.
God damn.
And so she was getting like, and she's tiny. Like even today, she's tiny. And so she was getting like some really unwanted attention from like these adults because everybody assumed that she was an adult because of her boob size. And so that's why she got the breast reduction. So there's like a few times where it's like, when I think it's okay for like kids to like get cosmetic surgery, and that's fucking one of them. Like if grown men, I mean, obviously this shouldn't be a problem. All right, ladies, I'm gonna say this for your benefit. You shouldn't have any kind of unwanted attention. At no time should a man put his hands on you when you don't want his hands there. All right. It should never be acceptable for somebody to see, oh, you got big boobs, let me grab your ass. That's what was happening to her. All right. It's disgusting. But also, like, I can totally understand why she did it. Because no kid should have to go through some shit like that. Because I know that there's some people that are okay with that as an adult, but you know, kids shouldn't have to go through shit like that. So
Can I just quickly say this? And I haven't watched the documentary. It would be interesting, and you know, again, I haven't seen it, but if she hadn't been a celebrity with the money that I guess her parents were having at the time, do you think that she would have gotten it, even with gotten the surgery, even with
all of
that
she got it
going on?
It was her money. It wasn't their money. Like, go ahead, Ninja.
Yeah, I was good. So to interject, because I have not seen this documentary, but I'm gonna say yes because some real life situations that I've actually witnessed. Because I work with a young lady who's a teenager, and there are grown ass men with children who hit on this girl, who apparently don't give a shit about her age, but she literally tells them, "I'm underage, so why are you talking to me?" Yeah. And they just keep coming at her. They keep going to her to the point where she doesn't even want to like be around them or be in speaking distance around these people. And so if my coworker can get this kind of attention, you can bet that Soleil at that age, being, I guess, developing early, was definitely going to get some kind of attention.
Yeah, and I'm going to say for probably most dudes out there, that sort of behavior from a man towards any women, to me it's unacceptable. Like for you to like relentlessly hit on somebody just, you know, because of the way they look that they look, and like all these like seriously unwanted advances. I think every rational man has some sort of fucking caveman inkling of when somebody's sort of interested in you. Mm-hmm. And for you to have like your hot takes and your cold takes, basically, like just walk up to somebody and say certain things to them. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But I understand, at the same time, it's like, how do you know, if they want you or not? But I mean, there's way more respectful ways to do it, and I think that most rational men understand what the fuck I'm talking about. If you don't, you might be a piece of shit. I'm just saying.
I will only say that I think that some of us, if we're honest, 16, 17 years of age, you know what I mean? Young men, the younger version of all of us, some of us learned with a little bit of trial and error. Not in terms of, someone saying no and you keep on doing something, but every guy I know has one way or another tried to see if a lady was interested.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm trying.
Yeah, but usually, like, somebody trying to see somebody's interested, it should not involve like sexual physical contact. Like, you shouldn't have to grab a lady's ass.
Yeah,
agree
completely.
Yeah, and then ask, "Hey, are you interested?" As I'm fucking physically assaulting you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I already have 2 fingers in. Are you interested? You ready? Like, what?
Little tad bit late.
That's just like Promising Young Woman. Have you guys seen this film?
Nah.
Definitely worth. Yeah, you just described like the scene from that film. It's all bad.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, go back to this. The 90s kid, it's recommended and sounds like, huh?
Yeah, definitely recommended. And like seeing like who she was connected to. So she was dating the lead guy from god damn it, House of Pain, not Everlast.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
The other guy that I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Danny Boy or some shit like that. I forget his name. He's tall as fuck. But yeah, and she dated somebody else too that fucking Stitch already spoiled for you guys. But I'm not gonna spoil it for the rest of the podcast, all you listeners. There's another person that that is a major celebrity that I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, seriously? So watch it not just for that, but there's a lot of other things too. But there's like a major like, and they don't really say his name.
Okay.
In it, but they show images of him, and I'm just like, it's definitely that dude. Like, why aren't you saying?
So I gotta ask.
What's up?
Sorry, I gotta ask. Are we talking? Do they hint about her being underage and the dudes being above 18, or no?
Well, they were kind of ambiguous about the guy that I'm talking about, whether she was of age, and because he was definitely. There's a huge, it's like a 10-year age difference at least between the two. So, and he is a major actor. Or at least he was.
God damn.
But anyway, yeah, and I was just like, okay. But I mean, just all the shit that she went through and like all of her friends went through, and like I didn't understand that so many people fucking died. And I was just like, dude, what the fuck? People that you probably thought were still alive right now, they're probably not. I'm just saying. Yeah, just life is a cruel fucking mistress. Or death is really. They don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. They will snatch your life out of you. Quick, especially if you're living like a certain kind of life,
Dude, LA as a child star, there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, most of them don't end up like fully functional, well-balanced adults. Most of them have gone in and out of rehab and had some, problems with the law and problems with mental health. It's a motherfucker. It's a meat grinder for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the ones that do have a lot of success are like that at least appear to be stable, are the ones that are child stars and they take a step back from being a star and they might come back, or they just don't come back at all. But the ones that just keep grinding through their teenage years, especially through your teenage years, and you just keep going, it's like, man, like the odds are not in your favor on being like a stable human being. They're not. Because, from an early age, people are treating, she even said it, like, once you came on stage, like, you're an adult. Like, they would tell them that. You're an adult now. You're on, but they're like fucking, 10, 12 years old, like, telling that they're adults, and they're getting all this attention, and they're being treated as adults, but they're not adults. Like, we need to, like, really protect our children, and, like, some of these industries, they don't do that at all. They don't give a fuck.
Shout out to, I always mess up her name, so I don't want to butcher it on here, but you know who I'm talking about. Blossom. Brilliant woman.
Oh, yeah.
PhD, like super duper smart scientist. And then Will Wheaton. I mean, I think that those are some notable, it seems like, exceptions.
Oh, well,
they both stepped away. They both stepped away for like a long period of time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, they both. Another one is Danica McKellar. She's another one.
She's a mathematician now, right?
What was that?
She's a mathematician now, right? She teaches math.
Yeah, she has a PhD, I believe, in mathematics, and she's written several books. But she came back to acting, so she does live action as well as voice acting. So
yeah, but I think that step back is really needed for like a lot of these kids, because it's like, man, if you're getting like treated a certain way as a child, it's like that's when you're developing. It's when you're really being taught, like, you know, your values, your limits, like what lines you have in life. And when you're a child star, like your lines, your boundaries are going to be all fucking skewed, because the industry is preying on you to make them profits. No matter how you fucking try to sugarcoat it, they need that child actor for them to make money. And so they will do whatever the fuck they need to get that money. So it doesn't matter how fucked up the kid, how much they're fucking up these kids as they're growing up. You know, it doesn't matter. As long as they're getting paid and getting profits, they don't really care. And like, this seems to be like the norm for like the vast majority of these kids.
I'm amazed here in 2021 that Macaulay Culkin is still alive.
Well, I mean,
I really am.
It's the same thing though. He stepped back. Like, remember, he was acting as a kid, and then he stepped away.
Well, and he had his problems. Like, even while he was stepped away, he's said it before on plenty of podcasts. He nearly died, multiple times.
Well,
so.
I think one of his main things is that he stepped away from acting, but he didn't step away from like the Hollywood life. Like, he was still hanging out with fucking Michael Jackson and all these other people that had their fucking serious mental issues from the same fucking issue. You know, it's like, dude, like, you need to stabilize your life.
Yeah, I think the only one that probably survived that whole childhood actor stardom and didn't step away, and that continues to have success, is Ashley Johnson. So she kind of pulled away and started doing more voice acting stuff, and then she came back to live action. She's most notably known to be on Blind Spot. She's also the voice of Ellie in The Last of Us. So she's been doing constant work for decades. She has a huge resume, but yet she turned out pretty okay, because she originally started out in Growing Pains. She's Chrissy in Growing Pains. And she managed to grow up in Hollywood and still managed to do a ton of work and still keep her head above her shoulders.
I'm trying to
imagine being a 12-year-old, world famous, and you got literal grown women offering you sex and cocaine and fucking heroin and shit on a daily basis like it's candy. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, bad.
But I mean, we're part of the problem, though. I mean, like, we're consuming these things. You know, we're like,
oh yes, we are.
But the problem is, like, we consume these things because we're trying to show like our kids like wholesome shit with kids in it. You know, and that's. But should we be doing that? I don't know. You know, maybe we should just show them how to be a better person in our, in our lives. That's out there for discussion. But yeah, especially seeing like the amount of harm that has been done to these kids, when we could have just read our kids a book or some shit.
Not a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
Not the bad ones.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful. Do y'all want to talk about this coming to America too? We promised the folks last week we would.
Yeah.
I seen it.
Old Ninja, you watch it too?
Old Ninja, you seen it?
Yeah, I seen it. I watched it last night.
All right, set it up a little bit.
So coming to America, I mean, it's the sequel to the 1989 film. This time we start in Zamunda again, but this time we see that Akeem is having some, I guess, royalty issues where he has.
Yeah, hold on. Let's not recap the whole movie, because I don't want people to.
I'm not gonna recap the whole movie. I'm just gonna break it down really quick.
Okay.
So basically, he has 3 daughters, and he wants a male heir to his throne. So he's getting flack for it, and then he found out he might have a bastard son in Queens, New York. There you go.
Good enough. I saw it just last night. Super high level. There's a whole lot of fucking cameos, and they're going heavy on the nostalgia factor. Like, you can't see this movie and not have seen the first one and know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, you need to have some reference to the classic 80s movie to even, like, I don't know, to me, to even get to the first 20, 30 minutes. But they brought back a whole bunch. Definitely. You know, they brought back a whole bunch of folks. You know, it was particularly fun for me seeing, like, James Earl Jones You know what I mean? He's such a fucking treasure and shit. Arsenio's in there. They got a lot of older characters, and I will freely admit sometimes it misses the mark on the comedy, but it's a true comedy. It's less romantic comedy and more straight slapstick comedy in a lot of ways. I'm not a particular fan of Leslie Jones. I've said that on this podcast many a fucking time. Her brand of humor is kind of like nails on a chalkboard for me in general. So I kind of had to just grit my teeth and bear it, sometimes when she's on screen, and she has quite a few scenes in this. But the other stuff was mid-range enjoyable. Sometimes there was a couple times I laughed out loud. A few times, jokes didn't fucking land. But I also will say that anytime you're following up a fucking classic, and that's what Coming to America was. It was like a classic, like the likes of which we hadn't seen at that time. It's hard to do so, especially when you're talking about 30 fucking years later. But go ahead, Cronus.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's basically nostalgia porn. I mean, for me, really. I mean, seeing all these people that I saw back in the day do one ninja's gone. I don't know what the fuck happened. Hopefully they didn't die. They just said he left. That was abrupt. Oh, he's okay. Anyway, yeah, it was nostalgia porn for me. I mean, seeing it, like pretty much every single last person come back. No, almost every single last person come back on this movie was great to see. Even like watching like the weird cameos was just like an eighth of a song being played from some group from the 90s. It was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like they're still around. They still got it. All right, cool. Sexual chocolate. Yeah, I really I enjoyed the movie, but I can understand why somebody would not enjoy the movie, especially people that are a bit younger than us. A lot of these jokes probably just fall flat. I think that they used like kind of a lot of the same formula as the first movie. That's good and bad, so probably more on the bad side. But I still really enjoyed it. I still laughed a lot in the movie because the shit was silly. But yeah, I mean, it's I can understand why there's mixed reactions to it, but for my part, I don't care. I loved it a lot, so I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I didn't absolutely love it over the top, but I liked it. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. With a comedy, it's supposed to be entertaining enough for you to laugh out loud, hopefully, and sit through it and not be bored. So, I think that was kind of mission accomplished in a lot of ways. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to spoil any of the fucking cameos because that's, to me, one of the best parts about it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, I'm not going into a comedy expecting some intricate plot that's like, a Mission Impossible movie or some fucking period piece drama. Like, that's not this. This is a true comedy that has fake African and New York vibes or whatever, but it's also not Black Panther. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no. Like, it's just,
yeah.
If you're going into this like looking for like some fucking, Emmy nominations, like you're probably not gonna get that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. But I loved it. Whoever the fuck Wesley Snipes' daughter was, goddamn, her abdominals was on point.
She is. I forget her name. We'll have to look her up, but I think she's a singer. And she was bad. I will say this: Wesley, I need him in this role again. I don't know why. Every time he was on screen, I was like, God damn, I miss Wesley Snipes.
I mean,
I miss him in funny roles. I miss him in action roles. I just miss Wesley. He's just good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think people people forget like Wesley Snipes like ran a lot of Black Hollywood for a long time, especially when it came with like hiring black talent and stuff like that. Like his whole it was Amin Ra Studios or whatever, something like that. That did a lot of really good things for the African American actors out there. And when somebody convinced him to not pay taxes, that's where he fucked
that
up.
Was bad.
And apparently on what was it, Blade 3, like they really disrespected him on Blade 3. Whoever the fuck ran the show. I was watching I think it was, god damn it, I was watching a DJ Vlad interview with Michael Jai White, and he was talking about, because him and Wesley Snipes are really good friends.
Nice.
And he was talking about what he perceived about how those showrunners were disrespecting Wesley Snipes. like if you go back and look at the posters for Blade 3 Trinity, like there was posters out there that didn't even have him on it. It was, you know,
Wow.
Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds, and it's like, but this is a Blade. Like, why are they only them on these posters? Like, what the fuck? Like, Wesley Snipes made Blade really popular. Okay, and he also started the MCU. Something else he does not get credit for. Blade started the MCU. But for them to, you know, have 2 successful movies with him as the lead actor, and then for him to still be the lead actor but not on certain posters, he's right. It's totally disrespectful to Wesley Snipes to have the studio do that shit. And the woman's name is Tiana Taylor.
Oh yeah. I think she's a singer, I believe, right? Or model, singer, something.
Yes, singer, songwriter, actress, dancer, choreographer. Really in good shape. Jesus Christ, she was on Star Trek too? God damn.
Fine as fuck. Yeah, she was fine as fuck. What's it called? Eddie's oldest daughter. Hopefully she's appropriate age. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think I looked it up too, but yeah.
I had to pause myself. Like, wait a minute, I'm 40 years old. Let me stop.
I forget. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Now I had to look it up too.
Yeah, I thought she was great in it. She brought a lot of humor, and even the other actress that was the role of the barber woman or whatever. I thought she did a pretty good job. Overall fun, but yeah, Wesley. Goddamn, I miss him. Like Passenger 57, Wesley, fucking Demolition Man, goddamn, New York City, Nino Brown.
You know what? This is all right. So, I think that Wesley Snipes, the term unapologetically black, that's him in every fucking movie, and I fucking love it. Like he was the blackest dude in Hollywood for like the longest time. He probably still is. Shit, you know. Like, and I mean, he's a good actor. I mean, sometimes he does some crazy shit, but you know, he's just Wesley Snipes. So
yeah, look, all I'm gonna say is, as a reminder, and I love Robert Downey Jr., but he was a class act fuck up prior to Iron Man in 2008. You can look it up, and I know young people are like, no, that couldn't have been Robert Downey. Nah, look it up.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, he was a fuck up. Like had arrests, drug problems. He was just a mess. So he got a redeeming role, and he knocked it out of the fucking park. I want to see Wesley have a comeback in a whole bunch of movies and a whole bunch of roles. I think we need him. I think it'd be great, and he's still in great shape too. Yeah, just like Michael Jai White. He's in incredible shape.
Yeah, he looks like he hasn't aged. He maybe aged like 3 years. I'm like, bro, you went to fucking prison. How the fuck you not age in prison? Like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, No, I was just gonna say, I hope that what I would love to see is that they remade Demolition Man. We're just talking. Papa Bear brought it up. He says Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man was amazing. Yes, he was. He was fucking amazing. I don't always wish for remakes. I actually just make a Demolition Man 2. Well, no, because he fucking definitely died at the end of the.
I was about to say.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. God damn it.
Make a prequel, god damn it.
Yeah, the
prequel. Had a twin brother.
Yeah, like just show him like doing like all the shit that led up to like the end of the beginning of the first Demolition Man, if that made any sense. So at the beginning of the first Demolition Man is when he basically goes to cryo prison. But they made a movie about, you know, Simon. I forget his last name, but whatever, Simon, whatever.
I forget.
Like, make a movie about Simon, about his incredible crime spree, and you know, him like not getting caught. And it'd be just so awesome for me to like watch that dude do his work and just like kicking ass and taking names. But there's a problem that I just thought about. Fuck. They'd have to explain this away or just not even address it in the movie. The fact that all of his fighting moves he didn't know before he went to cryo prison. So that's a definite hole.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
We'll do something.
Yeah, we'll fix it. You know, somebody's got to. If it just. Most people didn't fucking watch the movie, so don't even bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We'll have some built-in plot holes, man. And I know we're going down this Wesley like reminiscent stage, but god damn it, White Men Can't Jump and even Money Train, like his partnerships with fucking Woody Harrelson were off the. He's the one that got me to like Woody, and I love Woody Harrelson. But like those two together on screen, god damn it, in a buddy fucking either cop movie or buddy fucking just comedy action movie. that's gold right there. Get them together again, goddammit.
Yeah, I think he's.
Love
The weird thing is that he's been acting. You know, he's been doing some acting roles, but I want to see him as more of like a lead again. You know, I think it's time. I think America's ready. Like everybody forgot about his fucking shit where he didn't pay taxes for a while, but he paid. You know, he paid for his transgressions. So you can't punish somebody forever when we have a certain amount of time when they're supposed to like have their sentence. Like if you go to jail, like it seems vaguely reasonable to me. What would be more reasonable is just to have him fucking pay his taxes, not go to prison. That'd be an actual him paying back his debt to society, not going to prison where he probably hasn't paid anywhere near the debt that he actually owed. But anyway, that goes into like mass incarceration fucking bullshit that I'm going to talk about soon on a whole different podcast. So Papa Bear, that'll be one of our topics is incarceration in America. It's fucking bullshit. But yeah, I mean he paid his debt and he needs to come back into doing more lead roles. I mean, if he needs to make his own studio again, somebody needs to finance that. Hey man, if I was a billionaire, I'd fucking help you out. Seriously, you know my uncle. He was your fucking bodyguard. So I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Tyler Perry, I don't like any of your Medea movies. Fund this.
Yeah, this would be great. A way better way to fucking spend your money than to watch you in drag again.
like Bugs Bunny. I was just gonna say, America loves a comeback story. Martha Stewart went to fucking prison. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I love Martha Stewart even more right now because of like she got street cred from going to prison and coming back and building her empire. You know what I mean? Like, give fucking Wesley a chance, goddammit.
Yeah. I mean, we could definitely do it. People love comeback stories of certain people anyway. We're not gonna say who, but yeah, I think he deserves it. I mean, he doesn't seem like a. I think he just made a couple of bad decisions that didn't really hurt anybody. You know.
No.
I mean, honestly, like. Him not paying taxes, yeah, it's bad, but just make him repay him. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, seriously.
He could have even had really bad tax advice from a shady ass motherfucker. I don't know. I wasn't there.
From what I've seen, that's what it was. Is people convinced him that because there's a bunch of people out there that think you don't have to pay income taxes, which technically you're right. You don't have to do shit on this planet except for fucking die. That's it. But everything else you choose to do or not to do, it is up. There's consequences. So, I mean, it is a choice, but you have to actually, if you have the choice and it's a bad one, you have to deal with the consequences. And he dealt with consequences. He went to to prison and he's out now. So and he's doing some work. So give this guy a decent role again. I mean he's getting decent roles. I want to see him as a goddamn lead again. I want to see like his actual acting chops again. Let's do it.
Hell fucking yeah. I was going to ask you, Kronos, to put you on the spot. Are you watching any more Jujutsu Kaisen? Have you dipped your toe in?
I only watched the first episode, man, so far. And I liked it. So I'm not going to, I said it like it was bad. No, it was really good. The first one was good. I need to watch more. I've been doing other things and I've been listening to I've been trying to reorganize my life a little better to make time for shit and trying to put more of an investment in with some work stuff and getting the motivation into putting more resources into work stuff because what is the problem that I realized I'm at a point in my career where I was just I'm here, I think I'm comfortable here, but I shouldn't be. You know what I mean? I've done a lot for my job and I feel like I'm not coasting, but I'm definitely not putting in the amount of effort that I used to, but I'm still getting rewarded in the same manner. And so I don't want to fall behind to where hey, you're fucking up, because I'm not fucking up, but I'm just not putting in the same sort of effort. So I'm going to take a couple steps back and start really organizing my life better. And this is going to make a lot of things better, hopefully including this podcast. And just making actual projects and getting down to fucking timelines and just laying things out. If anybody knows what a Kanban board is, I'm probably gonna start using Kanban boards to organize my life. And just so I know hey, I have these things that I want to do. Where the fuck am I at with these things? And just and then going from there, because And how does this relate to Jujutsu Kaisen? Not a lot, but I'm not watching anime.
That's all right. That's all
Maybe it'll
good.
be on my board. Watch more
And
anime, and I'll move it down the list. But yeah,
it's not going anywhere. It's really not. And when you do get to it, I think you're gonna definitely dig it. So yeah, we'll save that.
Hold on. I did
what?
catch up. Oh, here goes Old Ninja. He's joining now. You here? There's no video for you yet. Okay, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
I have watched. I've caught up with Attack on Titan, which, goddamn, Aaron. God damn, Aaron. I'm like, my dude. He doesn't. He came in there. He came in with basically a nuke in his hand, and I was just like, "You gonna listen to me now?" I'm just like, he's basically a dope ass terrorist.
Yes, he is. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And we root for him too, because we have been for 4 or 5 years now. You know, he's still like the main guy, and we still want him to achieve his goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
to become his pirate king.
Yeah. And the fact that he doesn't give a fuck about killing kids, it's terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrible, all right, but also
It is.
Fuck them kids. I'm just saying. Especially Gabby.
Gabby.
Yeah, especially Gabby.
Fuck everything about Gabby.
She's a cunt. She might be realizing it now. You know, I'm just saying.
Oh man. Okay. For me, I'm gonna switch to gaming just a little bit and talk about one thing that, you know, I'm on my PlayStation 5 life. I got off of serfdom, off my 2600. I am playing Miles Morales, enjoying it so far. I've just dipped my toe in, you know. But I will say for PlayStation, one of the things that I enjoyed, it seems like it wasn't very popular, but they're removing on PlayStation 4 communities, which was a feature that gave you the opportunity to make both either a public or private group, you know, where you could kind of have a message board. And most of them were dedicated to certain games like Titanfall, Apex, Call of Duty Zombies, etc. So that's going away in April, like really soon, on the PS4. But right now, the PS5 doesn't even fucking have it.
They had it briefly. They had it briefly, and then it died early on.
I find that odd. I was hoping that they would, PS5 would not only have it, but would actually build upon it and improve upon those message boards. Because here's the great thing about them, for those who aren't familiar. If you're into a older game, like let's say a game from a year or two ago, and it has some type of co-op or multiplayer element, and you're looking for people to play it with, but all your friends have moved on to, you know, the latest and greatest Call of Duty or Ghost of Tsushima, well, you could join one of these communities and then find some people who are dedicated to playing nothing but Titanfall 2 or Diablo 3 or whatever it is, and usually level up quite quickly and gain some new friends that have the same interests as you. So I like this feature overall.
Yeah, honestly,
what say you?
I never used it, but it was there, and there's a bunch of shit. There's a bunch of PS5 critiques that I have now that I haven't, that are nothing to do with like actual games. It's all to do with like the interface and some features that are fucking wonky and missing, and you know. I have a thing I didn't realize until recently. So usually I have like this gaming headset, this one right here, which is just like it's a basic, like, you know, headset with a, you know, half headset with a mic on it. And you plug it in to your controller, and it plays only the stuff that I'm chatting with through the headset, unless I change it, right? I'll plug it into my PS5. First of all, it doesn't work at all. All right, I'm like, all right, fine. So I have to figure out some other way to do this shit. There's a mic in the controller, I get that, but I'll get into that later. So I plug in my other, like, I have a Clipshish? I can't pronounce that fucking, it's a cool audio maker. Anyway, Clips. I plug it in, and all the audio goes through the headphones, and it gets the mic. But I don't want all the audio through there. I just want the mic working. You know, and I want I want the audio from just the chat to go through my headphones. But if I go to my PS5 settings as it's plugged in, and I tell it, you know, mic only to, you know, my headset, not through the controller, it does that, but then it puts all, like, everything back, and then I'm like, all right, but I want the audio to go just to my TV, then it puts everything back to the TV. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why is this? This should be a very simple thing to where I just want the fucking earbud in my ear and the microphone to talk through that, and the chat just to go through that. If I have some dope ass surround sound, and I don't want to hear it, shit through my headset. Like, exactly. I don't understand why there's no leeway there. I gotta do some research to see how to fix that. Maybe there's a way. I just don't know. But so far, and I'm a tech guy, it's not an obvious fucking solution.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say this. One of the things I do like, though, and maybe it's just my TV or whatever, but it might be universal. Just turning it on, it adjusts. Does it adjust your input to the PS5 input, like just when you turn the PS5 on?
What do you mean?
Does that automatically happen? Like you turn the PS5 on from rest mode or whatever, and let's say you were watching TV on another input for your, for that same television.
Oh, okay. That's a feature of your TV. There's an eARC thing. You can turn it off if you want.
No, I think it's cool.
Oh, okay.
I like it. It didn't happen on the PS4 for me. But yeah, anyway. There's a couple things that just, they need to certainly improve with the UI overall. Not that I'm completely disappointed, but, again, community is for me, I like that feature, and I wanted them to just expand upon it because, there are a lot of people who, for whatever reason, like, they play Doom or Doom Eternal, and that is their game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Assassin's Creed, that is their game, and they're like a deep down expert on that, Fortnite, whatever it is. And I like to kind of talk to the real otakus of, that particular game, because you can learn a whole lot from someone who just dedicates himself to playing Borderlands 3 for the last 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yes. Old Ninja, get in here. Can we hear you?
Yeah. I've just been listening and whatnot, just having some technical issue. My rabbit ears fell off. So I had to put them back on.
These young kids are like, what the fuck is
Lola
that?
knocked them off for you talking shit about it.
I was talking shit. I was telling the truth. You just mad. But yeah, it's funny because playing with Prodigy, he has a bad habit of like adding me to these groups when I don't ask for it, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
You gonna join today?
No. Damn, you Pepe Le Pew'd my ass into a fucking group. God dang. But yeah, I have all these like groups I don't even interact with, but yet I keep getting notifications from these groups I don't even fuck with. And I get it, but when you think about it, when we play as a unit, we play with people who aren't even a part of these groups. We found them through other means. And through those means, we end up gaming almost daily sometimes. And these like because this is a feature also on the Xbox, but it's weird to me that it's going away. I figured, based off of what Prodigy was talking about, that this would help a lot of gamers find each other, especially the like massive games like Star Trek Online, Smite, Destiny, stuff like that. When they're like, "Hey, I need help. There's a group here where people have been playing this since the demo or since the beta. Can I like squad up? Or hey, I need a clan." But I guess at least for Destiny, because that's probably the one deep dive game, they have their own like separate app to help you look for other people.
On your phone, you mean?
Yeah, I'm on your. Yes, there's an app you can use on your phone. The app also interacts with the game because you can literally like change your inventory through the app while you're in the game live. Like I can like move stuff around. So if they're moving away from that, I heard like people chatting like maybe they're going to implement something different and better instead of the community thing. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. Whatever, if they make an improvement, that's great. Whatever to help gamers connect and build a social community based on the game that they love or whatnot, that's great as far as I'm concerned. However, if this is going away and there's no solution, there are other means for you to connect with other people that play the same game that you like. But I think it's still a weird kind of thing to just take it away because it's been around for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think like 2015 or something like that. And I didn't always use it. It's as obsolete as you make it. For certain games, old dead groups. Certain other games, very active groups. But I will say this, you know, in some ways it resolves the problem. Like I despise going on a co-op game and none of the randos have any fucking mics. So I love to be able to say, hey, you know, I'm looking for 3 other players, this level, you know, everybody with mics. You know, we're starting at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And,
Oh my God,
you know,
bro.
for an active group, you can usually find that. You know what I mean? Rather than just kind of hoping that you'll play with some good randos.
Yeah, so last night, me and Stitch were playing Zombie Outbreak, and we were playing with 2 randos, and like the first guy, he just like, immediately went to the fucking first, like the level thing. Like where I'm just like, what the fuck? Like nobody has anything. Like, why are you doing this? Why do you hate us?
That's the worst.
Like seriously. And then like
Worst.
the second time we found somebody that were kind of a bit better, and we were going through, but I messed up because I didn't level I need to get used to like leveling shit. So when I play solo, it's not really a big deal, like leveling my stuff, because I have time to like move around and shit like that, and I don't get swarmed too bad. But when you're playing with other people, like first of all, there's more zombies. And then sometimes when they do something, they can literally just spawn a shitload of zombies around me. And if I'm under leveled, I'm gonna get fucked up. And I learned that yesterday. We got to like round 4, and I was getting fucking ass raped. I was the embarrassing one, and I'm a good gamer. I just fucked up. Anyway,
what's your build? What's your build right now? Sorry, I wasn't on with you. What's your build now?
I have I'm a healer. I have a healing aura, and then I have a what is it? The Type 63. Semi-auto.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's good, but you know, you have to like level it up, you know, because it's semi-auto. If y'all, I mean, like when you're playing like zombie games, having a full auto is definitely the way to go. All right, it's way easier to fucking play the game when you have something that's fully auto. Because when you're, you know, semi-auto, you have to fucking click a whole bunch of times, and when you're playing on the fucking PS5 controller, your finger will get tired because there's resistance that is like way more resistance to what you're used to. So like having shot placements actually counts. Anyway, so we're playing with like these randos, and I was like, you know, Kamek, she was asking like to come to bed, and I was like, you know, this is my last round, and I was just trying to get to like 2 rounds or 1 round, but these guys kept like going through the next round. I was like, I have to fucking go. Like, I'm not trying to stick around. Like if we go through another level, I'm just gonna. I was like, we went through another level, and I was like, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna be the asshole. I'm just gonna run straight for the fucking thing, and just fucking get it done. If we die, we die. Fuck, I don't give a shit. I need to go. So, luckily, we made it through, and they understood. Oh, okay, let's exit out now. I'm like, yeah, thank you, Jesus Christ, but we couldn't talk to them because they had no fucking mics. You know?
It's the worst. It's the fucking worst. I'm totally with you with the full auto. I'm running a full auto shotty, and I fucking love it. The only thing is the reload time is ass. But when I get that perk for the speed perk or whatever, not the speed running, but the other one, that mitigates that because I don't have as long to reload or whatever. But other than that, man, full auto is the way to go. I hate the semi-auto.
It is, but
bullshit.
What's cool, I like having like sort of high accuracy. So when I last looked, my accuracy was like 59%, which for like Call of Duty is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Should I be spraying and praying, man?
Yeah.
So, I got a kind of confession to make because I'm one of those people when you're in a lobby where I have a mic but I don't speak.
Fuck you. Fuck everything about you.
I'll be sitting there and I'll just be listening. But this is me playing with other. This is when I'm solo. If I'm solo and I join like a random lobby, because it's me and 3 other people, and I don't know if they're in a party chat or whatever, but I'll have my mic on so I can hear them talk, and then people will figure it out if they're like, "Hey, we're trying to get this. If you have a mic, come with us." And when they realize I'm with them and I'm contributing, like, "Oh, he must have a mic," but he's not saying anything. They're like, "Oh, I guess it's fine because he's still here." So.
And then they call you the N-word.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Aren't you talking?
No. I mean, that happens. That happens at the end game lobby where I can't.
This is like
that happens.
You know what's insane to me? Like how much we've all normalized somebody calling us the N-word after speaking in multiplayer games. Like seriously, America, listen to the world. Listen to us. As a black dudes, we say any words. We sound any sort of kind of black on multiplayer. they will call us, like, a lot of people will just fucking start saying the N-word. And just in general, not even saying anything, the people just say the N-word a lot. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with people? And these are like kids. Like,
Yeah, with the hard R.
12-year-olds.
Yeah.
12-year-olds.
12 to 21, but they do it with the hard R. Once they get, and then, or if they, what's even weirder is if they see your gaming avatar is like an African American male or female, they start dropping the N word as well.
Yeah, to me, and this is the distinction I've seen. It used to happen like more multiplayer, you know, what I mean, like direct competitive. But when I hear that bullshit in like co-op, I'm like, we're on the same fucking team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to be working together, and you just drop an N-word bombs. Like, I'm healing you. I'm literally healing you as you're down.
You're so racist, you don't want to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the fuck? Because I'm definitely not gonna heal you.
Yeah.
Fuck your racist ass.
Yeah. The funny thing is like when you're playing with those people and you don't respond, and they figure that you can't hear, you can't hear them, so they keep going and they keep going, and then when you say something to them, they try to backtrack. I'm like, no, you didn't do that. I gotta guess what? You're getting reported. I like recorded this. I'm gonna post this. Make sure your gamer tag or PSN is displayed fully.
Well, you know, okay,
Peace
so
out. Same thing with regiments and or whatever they call it in Cold War when they have like clans. Like a lot of them have racist clan names and they think they can get away with it. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck?
So this actually gets back to another conversation that me and K-Mac had the other day. About like talking to like your significant other, your wife, spouse, whatever the fuck, your partner. Is there's so many people that change the way they speak around their significant others. You guys know about this, right?
Keep going.
Of course.
I might.
Like when you see like there's been guys that I've known that will speak a certain way around their wife, but then they will change their entire personality around like their friends. We're not friends anymore because all these people are like basically the same kind of person that I don't like to associate with. But have you seen this like in?
Like they're worse with their friends and then more angelic with their wife? Is that what
yes, especially yeah.
Okay.
I've seen that and vice versa.
Yes,
where
it
they're
is vice versa.
angelic with their friends, but they're a demon to their wife or significant other.
Damn.
Yeah,
I've seen that too.
I was watching some like, cause I've been every now and again I'll go through like some videos about these, you know, red pill guys. This is whole like the whole MGTOW thing, and also like Steve Harvey, who I fucking can't stand.
I'm sorry. What was that again? MGTOW?
MGTOW, the men going their own way. Like you ever heard of that term before?
This is new to me.
Holy shit! This is like a whole fucking. This is a whole thing. All right, whole thing.
Yeah, speak on it.
They have some valid points. But some of them go too far. All right, so men going their own way are basically a bunch of dudes that are just like, you know, all women are the same. They're out there to, you know, to fuck all men over. Fuck them. They're just gonna go their own way. They're not gonna get involved in like long-term relationships. They're not gonna, you know, try to help women out to do anything. You know, like they're doing their own shit. They're trying to be what they think their version of happy is, without women. Some of their points are valid. Some of them are more ridiculous. But one of them, like Steve Harvey was talking about, he's not a MGTOW guy, but he is of the same kind of mindset. He was talking about how men, they're supposed to talk different with their friends than they do with their significant others. And I'm thinking about it, I was like, I don't really speak differently around like K-Mac than I do with like my friends. I might have different topics that I'll talk about, but I don't speak different. Like there's no code switching there. You know what I mean? And I think that with a lot of, because that's really what it is. It's really just code switching, of like you're putting on a show for your partner, and then you show or maybe it's the other way around, where you're putting on a show for your friends, and then you're your normal stuff with your partner. But it's just like, I feel like you're kind of like an incomplete person at that point. This is like my fucking super hot take, is that you're not really mature enough to understand that you can have a partner and friends that can enjoy the more truthful version of yourself. You know, I know people out there that think I'm an asshole. They're fucking rightly so. I can be an asshole. It's totally true. It's fine. And we're not on the best terms, and we're not friends, and that's fine with me. I can accept that I can be an asshole at times. But when it comes to like my core group of friends, all you people know who the fuck I am. You know how I talk.
Yep.
You know my thoughts on things. My thoughts do change on certain subjects, but you all know what the fuck they are. I'm not out there telling you one thing to one group and telling another thing to another group. I think that that's incredibly disingenuous and real sneaky fucking snake shit that people do. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of men, actually, women do it too. But I can only speak about it from the men's side because I see it with men more. Because obviously I don't see the other side from women because I'm not in the other women group. But when I see it on the man side, like I disassociate with those kinds of people because I don't know when they're lying to me and like what they're actually like as a person.
Two quick things. Sounds like these guys, one way or another, are afraid of their wives or afraid of their significant other, afraid that they'll learn about the quote unquote real them if they're acting more devilish or off the hook with their friends. I agree with you that you could certainly have a deeper bond if you're your real self as a man with your woman. And then secondly, I would say in terms of just I don't know the whole relationship with the woman, or I'm sorry, the MGTOW stuff. These guys sound like, to me, it sounds almost incel-like in terms of if you truly believe that all women are the same and you don't want to have anything to do with them, then you're also telling me that you're celibate too, right?
Well, no. A lot of them use women basically just for sex, and it's just for, through whatever means that they need to do to like have sex with them, they'll do it. But then it's just for sex. Like they're not looking for any long-term relationship. Which,
but like lying to them too.
Some of them they tell them up front, but I mean,
okay.
So this is something that I guess is more specific to like me and Prodigy. All right, so when I don't know if you had the same issue with, it's not an issue. How do I put it? Me and Prodigy are probably never gonna get married to anybody, right? I mean, I'm not speaking. I don't want to speak just for me or for you.
Yeah,
that's true for you, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So when you bring this up to like, a significant other, like there can be some issues there, if like, I think the main thing is, are you going to be there for me over the long term? So I totally understand that thing, but, a piece of paper that's government stamped is not going to make me more or less likely to leave. Well, actually, it'll make me less likely to leave you only because of fear of wage loss. And I think that living a life of fear to stay in a relationship is not the way to go. I mean, for me, is that I'm Prodigy? I don't want to put words in your mouth. So
no, you're speaking the truth. I'll stop you if you're wrong. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I think that most people don't really seem to understand that. But these MGTOW people, they're not interested in dealing with like they basically just don't want to deal with women problems. When I say women problems, please take that. I'm putting that. I'm not trying to sound sexist with it, but women have different wants and needs that you have to figure out. Okay, and I think that some people that are on the MGTOW side, they're not willing to really understand women and that they are not all the same. That they have their own, specific wants and needs. And yeah, some of them are poorly communicate. Just like most men poorly communicate. This is why we have this whole fucking divorce issue. It's because people poorly communicate with shit. Like what they actually want and need. But to like sit there and like say that you don't want to have any sort of long-term relationship but just have sex with them. Well, then I think that unless the person knows that that's what you're doing, then you're doing some really fucked up shit. Like you're basically, because anybody that, when you bring sex into anything without explicitly saying, hey, we are never going to have a relationship, and you're very specific in saying that, then you're being an incredible fucking asshole to whoever the fuck you're doing that to. Because for most people, sex is like the highest form of intimacy, and for them to like literally let you enter or them to enter your body, if you want to put the other way around, is it's really fucked up to like really betray somebody's trust like that, because they're trusting you with that.
Yeah, I will say, obviously lying to someone isn't cool. And just to prove that obviously not all women are the same. There are many, many women who are very much down for hookups and casual sex as well, who want nothing to do with you, you as a male, relationship wise. They just want the fucking pee-pee, the fucking, nut and snake, or the cream, the cream that's coming out of your fucking dick. I don't know. In any event, these guys sound a bit weird. If you are lying to said woman, then I think that's kind of shady. The other stuff I just kind of have to take with a grain of salt and take it on a case by case basis. But certainly, I'm not down for the whole lying to people, especially when there's literally apps on your phone that with people of the opposite sex that are at least online saying that they're down for hookups.
Well, even those apps are like, well, this whole problem with like when you're down for hookups, like you're only down for hookups for so long. And I think like,
but there are single milfs in my area right now looking to fuck right now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, I just think that people, they're really not honest. And I've done some dishonest stuff, but it never to hurt somebody. Not like that anyway. Yeah. But I think the problem is that people are not honest, like what they actually want and need. And if you think that, if whatever you want and need is to just be by yourself and occasionally fuck some chick and then die alone, okay, I guess, that's on you. I can't really judge you on that, but I think that the vast majority of people, when it comes down to it, you really want somebody there for you, in a different way than your boys. Like there's some times where you need some help that's not going to come from dudes. And I'm not talking about anything sexual, and I'm not saying that, it's not okay to cry in front of your friends or anything like that. I literally cried today over a dude. I'm not going to say who the fuck it was, but it's from happiness. So, that shit happens. But, I think that there's certain things that people need in a relationship that's just the way that we're designed as people. Like, it has nothing to do with, like, necessarily even the man-woman thing. It's like, there's a thing with like a bond with somebody that you're attracted to and you have a relationship with, that you have a bond. And if you're missing that bond, I think that you're missing a good portion of life. And I'm not an advocate for marriage. I'm not. But there's a bond that you can have with people outside of marriage that I think some people are going to miss. And they're probably not even going to realize they miss it until they're really fucking old. When it's vast, it's like way too late, and that's gonna be a sad day.
Yeah, but aren't you discriminating against the asexual types? I'm just fucking.
No, I mean, for them, it's not an issue. Out there. Yeah, if you're not attracted to any sex, then none of this applies to you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that applies to you. Do your own thing, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm going to really quickly take a sharp left and go back to Call of Duty and just say it is awesome. Shout out to Janie from Southern California. If you've never been in a lobby with her, whenever some dude says some slick ass shit, whether it's racist shit or sexist shit, she lights his ass fucking up with a fucking tirade, and it's the greatest thing ever to be in the lobby with her.
Good. Yeah, I love seeing that shit. I love I love watching weak ass dudes get belittled.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that's one of my fucking favorite things. If I could jack off to it, if it was actually, like, sexually hot to me, I'd fucking do it. I'm serious. I love weak ass dudes getting put in their place. Especially, because I think they're so anonymous online. I can just say whatever the fuck I want. It's like, yeah, but somebody else can say whatever the fuck they want back to you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think I read somewhere that did a survey of, like, of women gamers, and the dudes that will say the most against them. And it was like, I think the most of them were like single dudes that God, I can't remember the fucking statistic. But it's a really good one.
It was single males that performed less than the women.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They were the ones who belittled them the most versus the opposite. Men who performed well with women who did as good, or maybe I think it was a little less. They were more encouraging and supportive to the women that they were playing with, even and it was like a weird, I guess it was a full-on study that they had these results. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think
that's funny.
It is funny, but it's not surprising. This is how fucking weak ass weak ass bitches work. You know, they just everything is external to them. Like all their problems is somebody else's doing. You know, it's not just that you lost. It's because my controller's fucked up, or some other bullshit. They don't want to just recognize it. They just suck. Like it happened to me last night. Like when I was playing Call of Duty, I was like, you know what, fuck, man. I was kind of complaining a little bit. It's like, you know what, I'm that fucking guy right now. I was like, I'm the guy who didn't upgrade his shit on time. I didn't fucking get enough packet punches. I'm not getting enough kills to get my fucking score up. I'm fucking up. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm gonna get better the next time. But you're all playing the same fucking game as me.
Yeah.
It's not cheating for you. I just fucked up.
Yeah, and that's part of the fucking process. Like literally, every gamer should know this. It's about dying and improving and getting better. It really is. Yeah. And the only way you're going to get better is to eat fucking shit and suck at something for a while. Now, a lot of us who have been playing for years, have ate shit in fighting games or ate shit in first-person shooters way back in the
platformers.
day.
He means platformers. Stable. What he's talking about is platformers to this day is what he's talking about.
Yeah, those are hard. Those are hard. It's a second jump I do after I'm in there.
Yes, you pressed the button literally twice.
I didn't get that last part. That last part was hard. But yeah, I mean, get better, and then even if you're not improving all that fucking much, enjoy the fucking time that you have. We don't get to interact during this fucking pandemic face to face. I want to be in the same room with you guys. We're not doing it. So at least I get to virtually hang out a little bit sometimes. So enjoy that. Except with those fucking randos without mics. Fuck them.
That's awesome.
God damn it. There's a gay Captain America. Coming to Marvel.
Yeah, so apparently the headline was fucked up. Like it's not a gay Captain America, so that's one thing. IGN, shame on you. I hate when people do. Don't lie in your fucking headline. All right, just fucking stop it.
Clickbait.
Yeah, it's just clickbaity shit.
Tell us what it really is, though. Break it down.
So apparently somebody that's inspired by Captain America, and he is kind of trying to take up like his mantle or whatever, but he's a gay kid that's fighting for LGBTQ plus community, and his character design is terrible. I'll just lay it out like that. It's fucking terrible. Like it looks.
What do you mean by character design? Before people get mad in keyboards, go ahead.
The way that he looks, that he's drawn and colored in as, looks terrible. It looks like his shield is like a trash can lid.
I swear to God, it looks exactly like it.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
Yeah, I don't know how to fucking put this without sounding homophobic, but the design is almost fucking caricatures of somebody that's gay. Let me fucking pull up. Maybe make sure I'm not fucking tripping. I've been drinking.
So
let me just make sure I'm not fucking tripping.
I've seen it, and to me, he looks like a homeless Captain America. That's what he looks like. I mean, he's dirty. He's got like a ragtag. He's got suspenders and ripped shirt, ripped jeans and stuff. And I'm just like, well, if this is a new character or whatnot, why doesn't he have a sick ass suit? I mean, throughout the Marvel universe, there's been all these wars and battles across the U.S. There's got to be some kind of tech laying around everywhere, either AIM, Hammer, Stark, some scroll tech, something where he could have pieced it together and spray painted it or whatever, Captain America, and give him, a decent functioning suit or whatnot. I mean, his suit looks like it doesn't protect him for shit. So it's not even a suit; it's just clothes.
Let me say this real quickly. I'm semi with you guys, but what I will say is, maybe throughout the run, maybe it's him acquiring a better suit and coming into his own as a hero. I'm okay with a hero starting out looking, a little shit, in terms of their original suit, and then maybe upgrading and getting into their iconic suit later. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
that could fit.
I was just about to get to that, but I'm hoping that run, because this is a limited series run, according to Marvel. So,
okay, I will pull up the character design for all the folks that are in the the
Infinity Vault.
So yeah, this character design from this is the one shot that I saw. and it looks like a terrible character design. I mean, he's wearing overalls. The shield does look like a trash can lid. I'm sorry, it really does. He's got a neck scarf on, which is fucking weird. And it just looks. It doesn't look good. Like seriously, it's not a great. It's not a. It doesn't look like Captain America to me. And the weird thing is that it looks like the name of the comic is called The United States of Captain America, which is like, okay, that's a fucking weird name. But if he's just somebody that's picking up the mantle, definitely don't call this guy Captain America. I'm not saying that because the character is gay. I'm saying that because there's literally within the past 5 fucking years, there's been 2 Captain Americas. One is white, one is black. Let's not have a fucking third. All right. If make a new, Marvel's fucking it up again. They're fucking it up again. All right, where they are doing this thing where they're putting all these characters in when they don't need to. Like, just make a new fucking character. How is that? If you are really into LGBTQ plus communities and you really want to uplift them, then make a new fucking character that is badass. That is not predicated on a different character that already exists. It's so incredibly fucking lazy for you to sit there and just slap a name from an old character onto somebody else that is not that character. You're not fooling me. You're trying to ride the wave of Captain America to uplift this character. Stop it. Make a new fucking character with a whole new background, a whole new name, and do all that shit. And promote them. Promote them. This is... The only reason why this is getting picked up by so many fucking entertainment things is because you named him Captain America. That's it.
Yep. I'm going to say this. I would prefer, and again, I'm not part of the gay, lesbian community, bi community, but I know that there are plenty of great comic characters that I already love. I've mentioned it a million times on this cast, but Iceman of the X-Men, it has been gay in canon for decades and decades. I feel like he doesn't get nearly enough shine, even though I love the current Krakoa arc and everything Hickman has done with X-Men. I think it's some of the best stuff. Yeah. I still don't see nearly enough Iceman. You know what I mean? And his unique perspective. And there are some other characters in the whole X-Men world, like Pyro, North Star. There's quite a few that are in there, but it definitely, again, Iceman is an Omega level mutant. Show him some fucking love, like, you know what I mean? To me, that's like a no-brainer. And then I'm also going to quickly give a little bit of shade too for the DC side. I have no problem whatsoever with them celebrating Pride Month in June. No problem whatsoever. But they're doing, a Pride Month series highlighting the gay, lesbian, bisexual characters in DC. But you know who's not on the fucking cover? Diana. And you made this big deal a few years ago about her being bi and whatnot. I'm like, well, is she or is she not? You know what I mean? Like, she's one of the faces of the Trinity. And so I guess to me, I'm always like, you don't show her in any type of relationship with any female characters from a sexual standpoint, which, whatever. And I understand that bisexual people can date just men if they're women. I understand that. I get it. But you never show it. And then you also, for your highlight issue of, Pride Month, you also don't put her in there, too. So to me, it sounds like you want your cake and to eat it, too. Either make her a true bi character and put that out in front, or don't. Make a decision.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. Honestly, yeah, just stop. I just feel like they're trying to do the safest way possible for the LGBTQ, community. When stop doing it safe. Like, seriously, just fucking stop it. Make a new character with a whole new backstory that is not predicated on some old character, and just roll the dice. See if people are receptive to it. Then you will know where your audience lies. You will know that. But instead, you're going to rely on, we're going to, have this person take up the mantle of, this and that. And yes, I had the same problem with, the Falcon doing it, because it's the same time period where Marvel was doing all this other fucking shit where if you watch any goddamn MCU movie and you picked up a comic, they were not the right ethnicity or the right gender. Like if you were watching the movie compared to the comics, and it was wrong. It was wrong, and they're gonna keep doing it again. And it was disastrous for them last time. This is the reason why DC really ran ahead, because they decided to go in a whole different direction. And they came out on top in that I forget the fucking what they were doing then.
Rebirth.
Rebirth and a couple other things. Yeah, it was mainly Rebirth, and they fucking killed it because Marvel was fucking up because they were trying to like convince you that Jane Foster was Thor. And don't get me wrong, Jane Foster as Thor was actually a really good story. Now she's Valkyrie, but they should have just made her Valkyrie from the get-go. It was well written in, but and the same thing with like X-23 and there's a whole bunch of other characters. They're just like and She-Hulk. She-Hulk was the worst one because she didn't do any She-Hulk shit for the first three fucking episodes, three issues. I can say the first three because after the third one I was like, I'm done. If you ain't gonna fucking Hulk out, bitch, you ain't the Hulk.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I love the actress that they got for She-Hulk. She was on Orphan Black, British show, BBC show that was really good. Yeah. Incredible actress. She played like 50 different roles on that show. I'm worried though. She-Hulk from the comics historically has always owned her fucking sexuality, and what I mean by that is she wears what the fuck she wants. She fucks who the fuck she wants. You know what I mean? Like she's always been kind of a progressive vixen and owning her own sexuality. I hope that they include that. I haven't even seen a teaser for the Disney Plus show. I hope that they incorporate that. Not saying that it has to be a porn or she has to be having sex every single fucking episode. I'm not saying that, but don't completely change the character and take away the fact that she does like to be who she is from the standpoint of, yes, I'm a woman and yes, I look good. And I like to flaunt it a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, as an avid comic book reader, I think that what Marvel has done terribly is that they're trying to pull in these non-comic book readers into comics based upon the fact that they'll see, oh, well, Captain America is gay now. I'm interested. Yeah. But then they'll read it and they'll see like how shallow these characters are. So fucking shallow these characters are. And especially when they get rewritten, like Jesus Christ, America Chavez was fucking terrible. It was terrible because they decided to make her, she was a lesbian superhero. She had a badass power set, but she went from being in the Ultimates, from being like a fucking powerhouse, to going back to college. Yeah. Who the fuck is buying comics to read about a superhero going back to college? You don't believe me? Where's that fucking comic book at now? There's a new comic out now, but she's not in college anymore. And that writer I don't think she's writing for that comic anymore because it's a terrible idea. Stop writing for these really what you think this group would want and just write it as a normal story with a normal, when I say normal, I'm not talking about their sexuality. I'm just saying write it with the same fucking fervor and discipline that you did when you made Steve Rogers as Captain America. You know what I mean? You didn't create Steve Rogers and then call him, I'm trying to think of a comic before fucking Captain America, but whatever came out before, Captain America, you didn't just slap it on there. We're like, oh, this is the fucking new guy now. Because traditionally those have never worked. They've never worked.
Yeah. The only slight exception I would say is the Jay Garrick Flash to Barry Allen, I think did, but I think that's the one exception. But then I also want to bring up this really quickly, and I've seen a whole lot of back and forth on this. To me, just like I got on DC with Diana and the whole, buy but not promoted, but sometimes not. Figure out what you want to do with the whole possibility of Deadpool's sexuality. Now, he's only dated women, in the comics, and he's married women, and obviously we have 2 movies, rated R movies, where he's been interested in only women. But then there's always this thing that I keep seeing online of, that Deadpool's really either bi or pan or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, if that's what you truly believe Marvel, not the fans, then you kind of need to showcase that in a more overt manner to me, because I just don't get that. It's not that I don't get that, someone can have that quote unquote sexuality. I don't get from the character how we've only seen him in male female relationships, but really and truly in his heart of hearts he's bi and pan. You know, either do it or don't.
Yeah, it's like it goes back to like it's laziness, and they don't want to take an actual chance. They're taking the safest route available to. It's to me, it's fucking pandering. I mean, it really is. Like either you have the balls to make a new character, and to like actually have this character be what you say they are, or you don't. But they try to get like, and yeah, on the first couple of issues, you will get, a rise in buyers. But after a while, after the first couple of issues, like you'll see that, oh, this is just fucking nonsense.
Yeah. I was going to mention Negasonic Teenage Warhead. They did have her with her relationship, and I was all for it. I don't have any problem with it whatsoever. But if you're gonna do it, do it. You know what I mean? That's my fucking main way. Goddamn. Did you got anything on this?
Going back to really quickly, we didn't really touch on the new, or I don't want to say gay Cap, but the new Captain America. His name is Aaron Fisher. So apparently the story is about Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson traveling the U.S. looking for his shield, and then on their travels, also on their travels, they're also looking for people that were inspired by Captain America or the Mantle, and they come across Aaron Fisher, according to a press release. They don't release any more details, or at least not that I saw, unless I missed something. But they come across him, and I guess he joins them in their crusade or something like that. I don't know who has the shield. And obviously, from the drawings, it doesn't look like he has Captain America's shield. Looks like he has a crash blade. Yeah, so
that.
I think that I'm hoping that they give. Because to me, I feel like it's a little disrespectful to give this character a really shitty costume. I thought they were going to give this... I was expecting a super badass costume with, like, changes, like, actual changes, like, maybe a little bit more beefed up or just a different color scheme or something. And no, it's like, oh, this guy... And I get it, because his character is supposed to protect the homeless, the transient, and, like, one other demographic, where he basically is trying to protect the people that don't have a real protector, and like like in the slums or whatnot. So I kind of get that, but I was like, well, dude, if you're going to protect these people, you should have something that protects yourself. And from the drawings, based off the drawings, he has nothing like that. He doesn't have anything that looks like it protects him from harm.
I mean, but technically, old Ninja, Spider-Man just has Lycra on. So.
Well,
but he also
according to the artists and the writers, this person has no powers.
Yeah, there's that.
I mean, all the non-powered people, Iron Man, Green Arrow, Batman, usually have a whole lot of money in tech that's cutting edge.
Even Daredevil, yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil, yeah. Well, I mean, Daredevil, doesn't he technically have enhance?
Oh, yeah, goddamn it, you're right, yeah. My bad.
So,
he also has a padded suit, but yeah. Just the premise of it sounds terrible. I mean, if you lost your shield and it's made of vibranium, maybe call T'Challa. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying. Maybe not to be an asshole, but hey, we've been proven wrong before on this podcast, especially with Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman. That's probably the most notable one where we've been horrifically wrong about people don't know. When we thought they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Patty Jenkins did with the first Wonder Woman, so hopefully we're wrong with this one, and it's not fucking terrible, and it gives respect and reverence towards the LGBTQ community, and while also telling a compelling story in the comics. But right now the premise sounds even more terrible. Like you're looking for a shield. It just sounds dumb to me, but maybe it's because I'm a fucking old man. And I don't give a shit about
I feel like they're hiding details to not give away too much.
Well, or maybe the details aren't that great. But I will say this too. Full disclosure, I'm not a big Captain America reader. I love Chris Evans in the Avengers movies and what he did in his solo trilogy. I think that's some of the best of the MCU. I'm all on board with that. But other than Chris Evans playing Cap in the movies, I'm not a huge Captain
Not even with the
America guy.
Ta-Nehisi Coates?
Just not. Huh?
You didn't read the Ta-Nehisi Coates run?
I haven't. I heard some
It's not bad.
fairly mixed things. Okay.
It's not bad. I mean, but I don't know. So when Ta-Nehisi Coates first picked up Black Panther, he was pretty decent for a while, and then it got kind of like not so great when they went to space.
I agree.
Yeah. So
it also was. It felt. This is a weird way of putting it, but it felt a little too wordy too in terms of the politics. I care about Wakanda politics.
Yeah.
But he did a deep dive at times that just kind of took me out of it because I'm like, okay, I care about Wakanda as it relates to the larger Marvel world, and sometimes just the micro level of politics of Wakanda didn't quite seem as exciting enough for me. But, it could have been my mood. I don't know.
No. I will echo that sentiment where sometimes it is just kind of like, all right, you're going kind of deep, but at the same time, I mean, he was trying to do something different, sort of different. Somebody might be listening to this, might be wondering why I'm pausing because I'm trying to like rewind what I was just saying about the gay Captain America, and it's just like, well, why do you give him leeway, but that guy not, or whoever the fuck made that character? Well, because I already read it, but yeah, I can totally see that because sometimes, yeah, it is kind of like you're getting in there. Is this really Marvel comic level of detail you want to get into? When I say Marvel comic level, when it gets to like DC level, or not DC, I'm sorry, Image level detail, I will give I would give way more leeway to. Like I'll reading the Black Monday murders which is not completed. Jonathan Hickman, again, fuck you. That you didn't complete another comic, but also I love you. So there's that. Black Monday murders. I'm literally reading about the U.S. financial system in this comic book, and it's fucking crazy wordy. But I'm loving it. I'm eating that shit up, But when Ta-Nehisi Coates does it, I'm just like, So yeah, I understand that it's. I guess it's subjective. I didn't expect to like have that level of detail in a Marvel comic, but when it comes to like Hickman doing it, so yeah, there is some different levels of expectation that are there. So fault me for it. It's fine.
Comic books are about the art, the writing, and really that intangible way they make you fucking feel sometimes, And it has to, at least for me, it has to be kind of all three. And sometimes it's surprising what can fucking connect with you, and certain things that fucking just don't quite hit, or they used to hit, and then either you've changed, they've changed, or something in between, and it just doesn't work. I have much respect for Ta-Nehisi Coates. I think he's great, especially as a nonfiction writer. And maybe I'll give the Cap run that he had a chance. Maybe.
It's actually,
the one I want to really try that I keep hearing great things about on Twitter is the Donny Coates Thor run. I think it's the most recent one.
Yeah, Donny Cates has been he's been doing a really good job lately. I'm like 3 weeks behind on comics, like on all comics, because usually I'm like 3 weeks behind or more than like certain comics, but like on all comics I'm 3 weeks behind at this point, probably 4. But yeah, the King in Black has been really good so far. The main story, all right. So I'll give a giant fuck you to Marvel about having all this ancillary fucking King in Black. I'm gonna fucking pull in all these other comics, blah 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 blah. Fucking stop it, please, God, stop it. Like, just tell the fucking story. Like literally, like there's probably at least 100 comics that have the King in Black like tie into it. Why are there so fucking many? Like, seriously, stop. And also, I'll give a fuck you to DC. Also, while I'm at it, I'm saying fuck you to like comic book makers with Future State.
Yeah.
All right, you assholes. Yeah, Future State. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm with you there. congratulations. But stop giving me 2 or 3 fucking comics in one comic when I'm buying just that one comic, and then you jack up the price to like fucking $8 a comic. I don't want the shit at the end. I don't want the fucking half a comic at the end of that shit and pay extra for it. If I wanted that comic, I'd buy that fucking comic. All right? So stop it. I was wondering why. Sorry, hold on. I was wondering why like my comic book pulls were like kind of high, like the costs were so high. And I was like, some of these comics are like $7, $8. You know, for if you're listening and you're wondering, well, it's not a lot of money. If you buy fucking like 10 to 30 comics a week, that shit adds up. All right, it adds up. When I start getting $150 a week fucking invoices for my comic books, that adds up. For most people, spending $150 a week on anything is a lot of fucking money. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, to me, if the MGTOWs lying, if they're lying to someone, and getting sex or whatever, it's also just as bad lying to your consumers about, hey, this is a Batman comic. No, it fucking ain't. It's got a whole lot of fucking monkey chimp, detective chimp in there with his own story at the end. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we'll give you half a Batman comic, and the rest will be about the Red Hood and fucking the Outlaws.
Yeah.
God damn it. Do I have one? Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is a perfect example. Superman or Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then it's at the bottom. What does it say? Featuring Jonathan Kent, Guardian, and Mr. Miracle, which is $6. Which is, I mean, it's not the normal cost of a comic, but let me get to the end of the actual. All right. So literally, holy shit, it's literally half.
Yep.
This is like, you can see the maybe if you can see it. That's the staple in the comic, and this is the end. I'm sorry, shit. This is the end of the actual comic. This is the start of the extra 2 comics that I apparently paid for.
Surprise!
Yeah, like seriously. And this one's only $6, but some of them have been like $7 or $8. So that was just a random one that I pulled.
Yeah. Real quickly to switch it up a little bit, and I do want to get everybody's take on this though. We had some real life stuff go on. It was either yesterday or Monday. A piece of shit, mass murderer. I will call him a terrorist just for my own thing. Committed a hate crime in Atlanta. Went to several Asian massage parlors. Killed 8 people, I think 6 of whom were Asian female massage parlor workers. This has to fucking stop. It's part of a larger rise in Asian American hate crimes. I will just from a giant step back, larger context. Some of this, not all, but some of this also has to do with just the pandemic, and you had the former president talking that shit for a full fucking year about the China flu and all that other stuff. But here we are with people just going in and murdering innocent people, Asian women, and it fits right in line with what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Pieces of shit just assaulting Asian seniors just right on the street, even here in the Bay Area. Again, it's atrocious. I know we're all in agreement that it's atrocious, but I needed to make sure that we got that out there. And Old Ninja, you haven't spoken in a little while. What say you on this one?
So, according to where this happened, this was in Georgia and across 2 county lines, one being Cherokee County and the other one, I guess, Atlantic County. I don't think Atlanta is.
Fulton County is for Atlanta.
Should be, yeah, but it's weird because they keep saying Atlanta, but whatever. So, according to the 2 police departments, which I'm going to get into what the one statement was said, but they're saying that this is too early for them to justify if this was a hate crime or not. I know the NAACP has spoken up, and they want this not to be investigated as a hate crime, but they want to make sure that if the evidence is there and if the motive was there, that he be prosecuted as a hate crime. The official statement from, I believe, Cherokee County was that this was a crime of I guess, sexual deprivation. or sexual. I don't know how to. Not basically, this guy felt like these places were sexual deviancy places or whatnot, and he targeted them and the people that were there, and he was going to go to Florida and do the same thing. But however, the situation surrounding it is very peculiar, and it seems to be surrounding a racial tone and racial targeting because of the victims were mostly Asian women. Yes, there were two white males and one white male, one Hispanic male. Um, there's also the fact that he was caught in a high-speed chase, but they're saying that the statement that the police department put out was that this man had a quote-unquote very bad day.
Jesus
And so he's
Christ.
getting a lot of flack about what's going on, and people are like, well, of course they're saying that this person was having a bad day because he's a white male, but instead of saying that this man was a murderer and that he was basically targeting people to kill, but yet they still want to kind of give him sympathy in the news for some strange reason. Atlanta is investigating the massage parlors to make sure that there was no nefarious activities that were going on that were illegal. So far, they released a statement that said there was nothing that led them to believe that there was any prostitution or illegal sex that was going on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Hold on. Just one quick second. Yeah. So I don't give a fuck about whether there was any illegal prostitution going on. 8 people got murdered.
I get that.
Sorry,
but my
go
point,
ahead.
yeah, I was moving on to the point that this was in line with his motive, because his motive was apparently sexually driven, and so if there's no correlation between any sexual activity going on at these places, then what was his motive then?
Okay.
If not that there were minorities.
Okay, so hold on. Yeah. Let me just say this really quickly, and I know Kronos wants to get in here too, but I've lived in Atlanta for 4 years. Old Ninja's been there.
I've lived there as well.
For those who have not been there, it is, yes, in the Bible Belt, but counterintuitively, it is certainly the home of like some of the best strip clubs in the Southeast region. Like maybe Houston, maybe Miami, but some of the best. And they're everywhere. Like low grade ones where you have to pay a $2 or $5 cover, high grade one where there's like a $50 cover. You know what I mean? Like it really runs the gamut. So to me, it just seems it falls on its face when you're talking about, oh, he just really hated quote unquote sex workers, when he only went to Asian massage parlors instead of strip clubs, which are everywhere in Atlanta. I just have to say that.
Yeah, that was going to be my counterpoint, but this is what the police statements are releasing. This is where social groups are like, well, this doesn't seem to add up. If there was no nefarious sexual activity going on at these massage parlors, then what else would be his motive if not they were Asian Americans? So we will see, because this man was just barely caught. We'll find out more as the next days roll out. Cronus, I know you've been aching to say something.
Yeah, did he talk? First of all, saying that if they had nefarious, whatever, they had illegal activities going on in the back of the fucking massage parlor, would that have made it okay in America's mind that he went in and just shot a bunch of Asian people? Is that okay because they were doing some illegal sexual acts? Is that what we're saying now in America? If so, fuck all of you. People that are getting paid to have sex don't deserve to get fucking murdered by some fucking crazy asshole that decided that he's quote unquote sex addicted. Did Prodigy talk about that? Because I had to use the rest.
I brought it up. He didn't bring it up. I brought that.
Yeah, that he's saying now that he has a sex addiction. I don't really give a fuck if he says he has a sex addiction or not. That it makes you, what you did makes you a fucking murderer and a piece of shit. The fact that you're out there killing people because you couldn't have sex makes it even fucking worse to me. Because actually, not, it's the same fucking level. I don't understand why the fuck we're protecting people like this. Another fucking. It's the problem that I have, like my old way of thinking. Okay, this is a trip down fucking Cronus's mind. There's been times on this podcast that you can rewind the fucking tape where I've said there's been a mass murderer and it's been a white guy and they've been fucking put in a goddamn bulletproof vest and they take him in and he's fucking safe and fine. They take him to have fucking cheeseburgers or some shit on his way to fucking jail and he's fine. And my rationalization back then was, wait, to figure out if it was, what if he was working with somebody else? Fuck that. The old me, fuck you. All right? These people need to stop being protected for this shit. All right? People get murdered by the police for doing literally fucking nothing. And you can find a guy that literally shot up entire places and find them with the murder, with the gun weapon in their hands. Yeah, the murder weapon in their hands, and then you decide to bring them in safely. What the fuck? Like, seriously, what does that tell all these people that are in jail for minor drug crimes, that are people that have been killed by the police, but from not being armed or murdering nobody at all, that have done no violent crimes at all? What does that tell people that look like me? It tells us a very clear message that his value of life as a murderer has far more value than my life as somebody that did, potentially nothing wrong or some minor crime or non-violent crime. Don't get me wrong. Listen, if you did a violent crime, if you killed somebody, you deserve to be, prosecuted. But for you to sit there and have in the same America, where somebody that could be maybe high and that maybe had a counterfeit $20 bill, and to have his life being snuffed out for 9 fucking minutes on the air, that people just air all the time with, George Floyd, and all of a sudden you have a guy who you definitely know killed 8 fucking people, to put him in a fucking bulletproof vest and take him in peacefully, no violence done to him. He probably didn't get fucking punched. Like, what the fuck? This is the Americas that we live in right now, and this is why it's scary if you live in America to fucking be a minority, because you don't know if the officer that is citing you for whatever had a bad day, or he doesn't like black people, or maybe he's a fucking sex addict too and he doesn't like Asians either, because the Asian chick wouldn't fuck him when he was a teenager or some shit. You don't know, and this is the problem with America that people just don't fucking seem to understand. But other people that, are minorities do have to understand. They have to, live a life of fucking fear, because you don't know who the fuck you're getting. And it's fucking bullshit. And people just bring up, like, crime statistics without actually researching them, because they're like, oh, well, blacks, commit more crime. We commit more bullshit crimes. All right? The vast majority of people that are in jail for violent crimes, the vast majority of people that are in jail are not in jail for violent crimes. They're in jail for non-violent crimes, and they're mostly drug crimes. So do your fucking research and get back to me. How about that shit? That fucking guy killed people. I can guarantee you right now, there's gonna be some kind of fucking GoFundMe or some kind of fund that's gonna bail him out. And the fucking bullshit system that we live in is going to allow him to get fucking bailed out, because they think that he's safe to society or some shit. Somebody's gonna do it. Somebody's gonna put up money for this fucking piece of shit. When we know he killed people, they're gonna do it. We all know it is, and we fucking accept it every single goddamn time this happens. We just accept that. Oh well, people put up money for it, but also America's not racist.
This is, and we've talked about these issues for a long time on this cast. This feels eerily similar to the I can't remember exactly what year, so I won't put the years out there, but the synagogue shooting, the Orlando, shooting, the one in the Walmart, which is in a heavily Latino area, or, the black churches in South Carolina. When you go specifically into a business or house of worship that is predominantly said minority or said group, and you shoot it up, that's not on accident. Like, quit playing around. You know what I mean? You went into that gay nightclub with the intent of shooting up gay people, or into that synagogue to shoot up Jewish people. Like, we got to call things what they fucking are, and that's what's driving me crazy. Like, look, you shoot up nothing, pretty much nothing but Asian massage parlors with Asian women. You did that on purpose. This is what you intended to do, and whether they were or were not doing prostitution on the side, I don't want to hear anything about that. You got families grieving right now.
So I'm gonna read the statement. So this is Cherokee County Sheriff Captain Jay Baker. So he spoke to the press today, and he says this is speaking from the Los Angeles Times. They printed this. So Baker, in a news conference, told the press that these spas appeared to the shooter to be a temptation and something he wanted to eliminate. And he goes on to say, quote, these locations, he sees them as an outlet for him, something that he shouldn't be doing, an issue with porn, and that he was attempting to take out that temptation. So this is the statements that draw, part of these statements are what drew criticism from the media, was like, you are trying to give this man sympathy because he continues to say, and I quote, he was pretty much fed up and at the end of his rope, end quote. Quote, yesterday was a really bad day for him and this is what he did, end quote. So people are saying, why is this county sheriff applying sympathy to this person who killed other people? So these are his statements.
It wasn't even a case where he was bullied and couldn't take it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even the case here. These are women minding their own business, doing their job at a massage parlor. I don't care how you feel about, whether there was prostitution or anything, under the table going on. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
these women didn't have anything to fucking do with him.
My thing was, especially media, is that they're trying to make this man almost seem like he's a victim, but he's the one that went out and had the gun and murdered these people. On top of which, he didn't attack a adult bookstore that has nothing but porn paraphernalia and probably people doing acts of lewdness inside. He didn't go to a strip club. He didn't go to probably an escort service or whatnot that's probably out there. He didn't do anything. He went to a massage parlor and he just shot them up. Like, he went to more than one. It wasn't just one. He went to several.
Yeah,
and he was going to Florida to do more damage.
You know what's crazy to me that I'm tired of fucking hearing is that people, white people, they want to bring up, what about black on black crime? All right, why don't you police your own? Motherfucker, first of all, you're policing us for us, or you're over-policing us. This is the problem. Okay, second of all, why don't you police your own? Seriously, how many fucking serial killers are out there? How many fucking mass murderers are out there that are doing this? Why aren't you policing your own? All right, this is the same fucking statements that you're making to us about, oh, well, what about Chicago? What about Chicago? What about Chicago? Fuck Chicago. Like, seriously. Yeah, it's a problem. And yes, there are ways to fix it, but the ways to fix it, the vast majority of Americans are not willing to do it, because the problem with Chicago and the vast majority of crimes have to do with poverty. And you're not willing to deal with fucking poverty. That's what you're not willing to do. That's why we have problems like this, is that because we have the fucking haves and the have-nots over like generations here in America, but you're not willing to tackle that issue. But meanwhile, you're willing to let serial killers and fucking mass murderers get gently arrested and thrown in jail and get put in there for a while, like for life. And then you want to talk about like out of the other side of your mouth, you want to complain about our prison system and like letting these people live in prison. And it's just like, these are people that have committed serious crimes. You know what I mean? That serious crime, the most serious crimes. But you're okay with them, like literally the same demographic, living from killing all these people, and you're fine with that. Like, and the vast majority of America is fine with that. You can look at it just through headlines, and it's fucking bullshit. I'm getting tired of it.
I'm with you. I will say this, and I've mentioned this a few times on this show. Parents, and we got several on this show. I don't really care about your religious beliefs per se.
No,
holy shit.
Not even per se.
Don't. Yeah. I mean, I believe in the freedom, for you to, if you are a religious household, it is what it is. But this crazy, hardcore, orthodox, repressive stuff, where literally people think it's a mortal sin for you to touch yourself or to even look at a titty, or it's usually really bad for people, male, female, gay, straight. I don't care what you are.
Priest.
You talk about some toxic behavior. Like, if you're pumping your kid, just like how we talked about racism and stuff, if you're pumping your kid with their head still forming with stuff that indicates all forms of sexuality, all forms of nudity, all forms of masturbation are evil and require corporal punishment, or making someone really feel awful about themselves, you're not doing that kid and then that young adult any favors. And I think that that repression, for some, not all, leads to some really negative things. And I think the studies kind of support that. I would love to see far less parents doing that kind of stuff. I really would.
Well, yeah, and it's like, it gets to a point, I mean, Prodigy, you're not anywhere near this level yet, but it gets to a point to where as your kids grow, like, they're gonna do like sexual shit.
Yep.
And like with any human being on this planet, if you tell them, not to do something that they really want to do that is not hurting anybody, like, the best you can do is educate them. Like, if they're gonna have sex, educate them on, like, having safe sex, not having kids, and then explaining to them that, hey, if you have a kid too young, you're not gonna be able to, like, really support the kid, like, from their financial and emotional means, because you as a human being are not emotionally ready to really raise a child, and financially you're not ready either. Those are important points that I think most parents just fucking gloss over. They just say, oh, don't have kids, but they don't explain fucking why. Or don't have sex, but they don't explain why. Kids need to understand why the fuck they shouldn't be doing these things. Yeah, if you want to have sex, you can have sex safely. But hey, if shit happens, and you either become or make somebody become pregnant, there are potentially dire consequences to these things that you need to understand. But if you're not willing to really explain those consequences to those kids, you're just gonna say that sex is evil before marriage. It's fucking dumb as shit. If you can't explain to somebody the actual consequences to what's gonna happen, how is it even valid to them?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, it's like telling somebody. I'm trying to think of a fucking valid comparison. Like, and it's very difficult to come up with. Like, why you should wear seatbelts? Like, should I have to make you watch a video of somebody getting ejected from a car through the windshield to understand that fact? I mean, seriously.
And they did that in my high school. It's called red asphalt.
I know they did. Well, because you went to a Catholic high school, which is fucking hilarious to me to this day.
Yes, it is. It's funny. I know that I literally do know the Bible quite well. I don't act like it, but I know it.
What's hilarious is that most atheists do.
Oh yeah.
I know the Bible
Absolutely.
pretty well as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't stamped in my brain like it was with you, but partially because we went to the same church.
Church for a while.
Long time. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Should we wrap it on up? I know we've been all over the place. This has been good.
What else?
Yeah, it's getting pretty late. I mean, there's still stuff on there. There's stuff we're saving. We're saving for when the whole squad is back, because we got some good stuff on here.
There is a big one.
Especially, go ahead.
There's gonna be a big one soon.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. There's been.
Yeah. Also, hold on, real quick. I released. Give me a sec. We've been doing Balance Exchange. If you've been listening to the podcast, Balance Exchange has been getting released, steadily for the past few weeks. We have I think 4 more to go, but the last 2 were really good. One was on racism, and then one was on the top 10 ways that Papa Bear would like to change the government, and they're both really excellent podcasts in my opinion. They've all been really good, but these two in particular have been really, really good because a lot of times people talk about issues in America, but not ways to fix them. And he goes into like the ways that he would fix them. Listen, if that dude ran for fucking president right now, I fucking vote for him. I'm just saying, listen to the podcast about his top 10 list of how he fix, the government.
Good shit. Old Edge, what you got popping this week?
So I know there's a lot of media stuff coming out, a lot of stuff people are talking about. The Snyder Cut will be out this week.
Fuck that.
Falcon and Winter Soldier also starts this week. So I'm probably not really gonna. I'm gonna catch maybe one of them if I can. I'm gonna have a busy work week and doing some more stuff with some family, so I'm not gonna have a whole lot of time to like sit down and watch any of this stuff. I'm gonna try to sneak in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, I'm gonna watch the Snyder Cut probably by before the next podcast. Just over the weekend, I'm gonna be really busy and not gonna get a whole lot of sleep.
Because you hate yourself and apparently have more than 4 hours to waste in your life. Just saying.
So just gonna be chilling. Gonna be out there helping, like I said, some family doing some stuff, and I might not even be gaming this weekend either. I mean, I might squeeze in some tonight, and maybe a little Friday night, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it.
Good shit. Cronus, what you got?
Well, it's been an interesting week because I had to take some days off. Been spending it with little Riley, and we've been hanging out and doing stuff and taking her to school and stuff like that. Been playing some Call of Duty. Other than that, I'm looking forward to getting my driveway expanded. Adult shit.
Ooh,
all right?
Nice.
Everyone on the podcast knows my parking situation fucking sucks. It's terrible. Like, the street that I live on is like it's a dead-end street, and it's on a hill, and only one side of the street has parking, and it's fucking awful. So I'm getting the driveway expanded once. Depending on what it goes after the first time, we might get expanded even more and more and more and more. The first one is actually the more important one because it goes up I was gonna do it myself, but I was like, I don't know how to fucking make an incline to do like a driveway. Because I mean, we did the fucking foundation for the Infinity base.
Sure did.
It wasn't that hard, to be honest.
I'll never forget you were like, oh, we're having a concrete truck. And I was like, I don't know why I did not envision a real deal, like full truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you got a full concrete truck. You were like, I told you.
Yeah, it's a concrete truck. Yeah. So like the hardest part will be like getting, the actual incline. So once he does that, and then I'll see how level the rest of the shit is. And then maybe we'll just do the rest ourselves. Because there's some more, I want to extend it towards the side of the house. So all you guys can so all of us can fit in the driveway when we're doing a podcast. So we need to at least have 4 or 5 vehicles to be able to park at my house.
I like it.
And then we're using the same guy that you're using, Prodigy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Marlon. So
he's a fucking pro, man. That's a hardworking dude, man.
He seems like a hardworking dude. Yeah. We were just talking. He was like, yeah, and it seems like his prices are pretty reasonable. So we're gonna have him do that as a first project, and then probably the replacing the deck as a second project. So that shit like that. This is what's weird about being an adult. These house projects once you become a homeowner or home payer. There's very few actual homeowners in America. I'm just saying, we're home payers. But once you start upgrading your house, that's some really cool shit. Like just building this Infinity base was so fucking cool. And being able to expand onto this and really upgrade the house is going to be pretty cool. But also, I don't want to live in America for very much longer. So, yeah, there's that.
There we go.
Go on, man.
All right. For me, I am probably in piecemeal. I don't have high expectations. I'll check out Snyder. I mean, I've seen some early reviews, but I'm taking everything with a fucking grain of salt. I didn't like the 2017 version, but I'm not going to go back into that. I'll check out, at least, I think they're probably doing it on a weekly basis, the Falcon Winter Soldier. I've been very honest, for whatever reason, WandaVision just did not connect with me at all. I know I'm in the minority, it was a little too slow. I'll see if Falcon and Winter Soldier captures my attention. I am interested, I don't know much about it, but there's a PC game that's getting a port to the PS5, PS4, Disco Elysium. A lot of really good reviews. Like it seems like it's some role playing, mystery type of stuff that, again, on Metacritic for the PC version, it's in the way into the 90s. So it might be worth checking out. It's at the end of March. I might try to enjoy that after I finished up Miles Morales. We'll see. And then lastly, as kind of Kronos alluded to, our backyard has been completely transformed. We got a lot of open space now based on the contractor Marlone just coming through and like digging up stumps, knocking over fucking. We had this Catholic fucking stone statue. It was the weirdest thing.
Holy shit, are you serious? And
yeah,
you bought
man.
that house? Oh, you going to hell now for sure.
Yeah, well, I felt a little bit bad. They knocked it down. And they had the little picture, a statuine of Maria in there, and they put it gently to the side. I was like, "Nah, knock that all over." You know what I mean? Fucking.
Hold on,
I'm gonna burn in hell.
real quick. He's a Mexican contractor. I am like 95% sure he's probably Catholic. Like
Yeah,
that's just, probably a little low on my estimate. I'm just saying. So for him to knock that shit over. Yeah, and his crew. So basically, you made them heathens, but you know whatever. Probably.
I know. But anyway,
you should have just told him to take it. Take it somewhere else.
We have the whole goal of just kind of having a backyard that's more functional and hopefully being able to, again, everybody get vaccinated. Have some fucking garden parties in the backyard, and old Ninja can be like Uncle Ruckus singing "Don't Trust Those New N-Words Over There."
Yeah, yeah. Damn happy, nappy.
He already knows the song.
Yeah, I was gonna say, goddamn, right on cue. He's waiting to say
it. Anyway, that's pretty much that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Take us out, old Ninja.
You just experienced Black and Black times infinity.
Titty meats.
Fool, check us out anywhere on the internet with Beat and BTI. It's BTHANBTI. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, anywhere and everywhere. Check our official website, benheadproductions.com/Beat and BTI. On Amazon, we have an app that lets you know when we go live. And then every Wednesday night, 8:30 Pacific time, we go live on YouTube. Check us out there. Sign up, like and subscribe. Come get your dakeness every week.
Lola, Bunny, Fuda, Ludes. You know what's up. It's happening.
Don't trust them.
All right, we're out of here.
We out.